running down the lane.
Sowers is back, reaches up, and it's a grand slam for De La Salle.
Alone. Scott got it. Great hook by Coach Stick to break down the defense.
A great place to finish up our regular season on this chilly Friday night in mid-October. It is the 7-1 and third-ranked in 2A Scecina Crusaders against the 5-3 Monrovia Bulldogs as Scecina looks to wrap up an Indiana Crossroads Conference Championship. Thank you so much for joining us for high school football on the ISC Sports Network. Alongside Lance Scheib, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you for joining us. Tonight's game brought to us in part by these following fantastic sponsors. The NCAA Hall of Champions. Plan your visit at ncaachampions.org. By Greg Hubler Chevrolet. At Greg Hubler Chevy, every new vehicle purchase comes with our exclusive Greg Hubler promise. By the Steer Inn. The historic Steer Inn Diner is Indianapolis' #1 East Side tradition since 1960. By Manly's Irish Mutt. Good times and a full menu of great food. By Marian University. Find out what you're made of at Marian University. By Bellarmine University. Explore the world, start within. By Indiana Wesleyan University. IWU, the world is waiting. Schedule a visit at discoveriw.com today. And by Boqua. Grab your Bokes and get wet. Our pregame show, a service of Endeavor Communications. Discover how you can save money by bundling your Endeavor services. Call 800-922-6677. Coach, going to be with you again, my friend, and this is a game I've been looking forward to all season long.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, you've got two really opposite ends of the spectrum offensively, but you've got two great programs in a really awesome conference playing for a championship here. Can't wait to see the contrast in styles play out as we watch tonight's game.
This is as good of a small school conference as you will find in the state of Indiana. Now, you have some smaller schools that play up in larger conferences, namely parochial schools at Evansville, Mater Dei, Fort Wayne, Bishop Luers, Memorial, and 3A kind of come to mind. But as far as true small school powers go, you do not find a better collection than you have right here. For example, in the last 3 years, half of the league's members, 4 of the 8 teams, have at least made a semi-state. Last year, Lutheran did that in 1A. Ritter won the state title in 2016. They beat Monrovia in the semi-state game. The year before, Monrovia won the 2A state title, and these Scecina Crusaders also reached the semi-state round in 2A a season ago. You throw in a school like Triton Central that is better more years than not. Beech Grove has had some really good teams as of late. You know you get tested every week in this league.
Well, the neat thing about the league itself is you have such a diversity of different styles offensively and defensively, and that's really what you want during the regular season. With everyone making the tournament in our state, you want to have the ability to see a lot of different styles that can help you be prepared come tournament time. This conference does that for you.
Well, you will not see two more opposite styles than what you will see this season. Let's talk about the home side first. That would be Monrovia. The belly option that Kevin Hutchins has ran here with great success. Again, the 2015 2A state champs. They were the runners-up to Jalen Smith and Fort Wayne Lures, and I reference that name because he now plays for the Dallas Cowboys back in 2009. Try to break down this offense of head coach Kevin Hutchins.
Well, I tell you what, it all starts with the fullback, and again, I can't wait to watch Clay Whitney play tonight. 1,300 yards rushing, but again, everything centers around just being able to play and deal with that fullback. And again, there's not a lot of deception to it. It's pretty simple, but what they do is very, very effective.
Scecina has been a team that has run the ball in the past, and they can run it this year too. Well, they have a quarterback like Mac Ayers. Ott Hurley has zero problem airing it out. It is a great pitch and catch combination. I use that term on purpose because Mac is going to be a college baseball player a year or two from now. He has verbal to play at Ball State University. He's a doggone good quarterback. His second year as a starter, and his favorite target is David Baker.
I cannot wait to watch these two play here tonight. I love the way that David Baker has taken on that challenge and developed that chemistry with Mac Ayers. I'm anxious to see if the elements have much to do with tonight's game and their ability to function on this grass field, but it should be a really, really awesome basic explosion of offense tonight.
Time now for our Keys the Game, brought to us by Endeavor eTex. They can help you with all your computer and technology needs. Available to Endeavor members and the general public. Call 800-922-6677 or visit weendeavor.com. And frankly, limiting big plays describes both defenses tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm anxious when you think about playing Kevin Hutchins' team, and they don't really throw the ball a lot, but they run, and again, they really test your discipline, and because of that, big plays occur. And again, whether it's Ian Ray or it's Clay Whitney, but I'm anxious to see how Scecina handles that, along with Monrovia handled Ayers and Baker. That should be an anxious and a real key for tonight's game.
Taking care of the football, and that's a key for every game, but especially when you're dealing with these weather conditions for the first time all season, and only yesterday the temperatures really get below 60 for the entirety of the year.
Well, I tell you what, as much as taking care of the ball is going to be because of the wetness, it's really the cold. That's the one thing that both teams are going to have to adjust to, just because, again, if you're wearing gloves, it's a different feel, and so I'm anxious to see who can take care of the ball the best. And
special teams, is there an advantage going either direction here, Coach?
Well, I think both of them, both teams take a lot of pride in what they're doing. They both, play sound special teams, so I don't think that should be a wash, but I'm anxious to be able to see those hidden yards in general.
That'll do it for our Endeavor Communications pregame show. Kickoff is just moments away as we close down the regular season in style. Scecina at Monrovia, Friday Night Football on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
This isn't just any Hubler. I'm Greg Hubler, and I'm always here to help. You ask, why does that matter? Well, I'm here to ensure you get the best experience and the best possible price. And don't forget, every new Chevy comes back by the Greg Hubler Promise. That's 3 years of scheduled maintenance included with every new vehicle purchase. This isn't just any Hubler.
It's Greg Hubler Chevy.
Let me show you why we're different than any other dealer.
Cruise on over to Canby.
At Marian University, we will challenge you because you want to change our world. But understand, you're not in this alone. There will be mentors preparing you to lead, people of faith, and professors with real-world experience, ensuring that you're prepared for your career. When you leave Marian, you'll be ready when life asks the question, what are you made of?
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Back at Gordon Hadley Field, our first quarter brought to us in part by Greg Hubler Chevrolet. At Greg Hubler Chevy, every new vehicle purchase comes with our exclusive Greg Hubler Promise. That means 3 years or 45,000 miles of scheduled maintenance, complimentary service pickup and drop off, and a free car wash and vacuum with every visit. Visit GregHublerChevy.com for more information. Monrovia won the toss, and they elected to receive, so we'll see that belly option to begin this game. There you see Ott Hurley. Again, one of the legendary football coaches in this state, and as anyone that has been around him will tell you, he is a far better person than he is a football coach, and he is a really good football coach.
Well, I tell you what, he is just an icon of our coaches association. Does things the right way. Has been in this business for many years, 27 years as the head coach. But again, he has done so much for Scecina, and I'm just anxious to watch his team play tonight.
By the way, our officiating crew for this evening's contest: Rex Blanton is our official. Garrett Hedin, Kevin Lewis, Rick Ross, and Thomas Roeder will be the other men joining him on tonight's crew. Field conditions, they are grass here as more and more schools around this area pick up turf, even those at the 2A and 3A level. A school that will be joining this league next year just up the road in Cascade. They have gone to turf for the first time this season. And Cascade will join the Indiana Crossroads Conference for all sports next season. They'll be replacing Park Tudor. And after Monrovia had their game with Park Tudor canceled because of low numbers at Park Tudor on the season a week ago, I'm sure Monrovia does not mind that change that is coming up.
Well, I tell you what, it's just unfortunate on what happened with Park Tudor. Again, you know, as a coach, you want to keep playing, but I know Kevin used that week off really to get healthy.
A line drive kick fielded, and then an inadvertent tackle. That is not how you start senior night if you're Monrovia. Having one kickoff man tackle the other, Corbin Paget and Damian Williams. And yes, I realize it wasn't an intended tackle, but it served the same purpose. And Monrovia will start this drive at their own 12-yard line. Take a look at the Monrovia offense. And Lance touched on the halfback in Clay Whitney. 1,301 yards rushing, again in just 7 games played, not 8. Corbin Paget and Cole Butts, they are equally as talented. One thing you don't see a lot of in this offense is the quarterback running the football, although he might be blocking because Ezra Wagner is 5'11 and 210 pounds. It is the fullback dive, which again is not exactly a surprise to start the game. That is Cole Butts. And man, Monrovia has been blessed at the fullback position during this great run of success over the last 10 years.
Well, I tell you what, they just are physical at the position. You know, Kevin understands the offense revolves around that, so they've got a good one this year in Butts.
You see the defense for Scecina. And again, you have an idea as to what's coming. One wide receiver in the formation for Monrovia, but everybody else inside that tackle box that you see on your screen. Again, the handoff goes to Butts. And Monrovia content to get 3 or 4 yards at a clip because they realize this offense just might be their best defense this evening as well.
Well, I tell you, you know, the one thing that if you're watching Monrovia play for the first time, or a team like this, it may look like the same play. They take one play, block it 8 different ways. And so it doesn't look real fancy, but boy, is it effective.
The line to gain is the 22-yard line. So it'll set up 3rd down and 3. This time they enter the second man through. That'll be a 1st down and more. That is Whitney still going. And Whitney tripped up just shy of the 50-yard line. Tackle is made by Elijah Phillips for Scecina. And that is a microcosm of what this Monrovia offense is all about.
Well, I tell you what, there's so much discipline that you have to have here, and great job, again, of being patient by Whitney here. And, again, we talk about limiting big plays here, but there it is, an explosive play on the first drive here. Great job of being patient by Monrovia. Scecina just has to relax and just read their keys.
Officially, they'll give Whitney 29 yards on the carry. So 1st and 10 from midfield. This is the fullback dive. That is Butts, and he runs right up the backside of his offensive lineman in Mark Branshaw at 5'11 and 235, but it's good for a gain of 5 yards for the Bulldogs.
Well, again, that time, Butts really didn't get tackled until he hit his own man. But what caused that was Whitney on the second man through. Now that defense has to be more honest, and because of that, you can't run to the fullback and Butts.
They'll line up the wing back to the near side. That is Paget, the sophomore. He is their 2nd leading rusher on the season. Again, it's Butts. Goes right behind the center. And sometimes this offense is just a tractor pull. Just try to grab on and bring the man down. But they won't stop him until he crosses the 1st down line to gain. Give him a gain of 6, and Butts already has 4 carries for 18 yards.
We talked about it earlier, Greg, and that is their best defense may be just keeping this offense on the field and running the football, because it's going to be limited tonight for Scecina touches, and right now the game is opening in exactly how Kevin Hutchins wanted it to.
6th play of the drive. They've all been on the ground. It's Butts again. Phillips will help wrap him up. Kept the gain to 3 at this point. Normally you don't see Monrovia run this much fullback early, so it may be something that Monrovia has seen in film study, or again, you're just really trying to limit the possessions in this game?
Well, I tell you what, any time that Monrovia can get 3 yards, they're going to be happy because they feel like at any point they can go second man through or some kind of wing-back trap or reverse to get more than that, but they are content on getting 2 to 3 yards.
Dustin Henderson, the center, at 5'9" and 195 yards. And I think we have an equipment issue is the reason for the stoppage in play, which means you'll have to change wide receivers, which is kind of the equivalent of changing out a guard in this Monrovia offense. Jalen Neese, the player that has to exit. Bobby Cooper comes on to replace him. So second down. Offense lurched forward, and the first penalty of this game will go against the Bulldogs.
Well, again, you had a delay there because of the equipment, and I like what Coach Hutchins was going to do there, trying to get even more of a passive look from Scecina by going on 2, but the delay with the equipment really caused the kids from Monrovia to kind of lose focus a little bit, and they jumped off sides.
One thing this offense can ill afford to do is get behind the change. So 2nd and 12 now coming up for Monrovia. Fourth line of scrimmage. Handoff goes to Whitney. Tries to bounce it outside. Does get a little bit of an angle and makes a tackler miss. Looked like Scecina had pretty good contain on him. Then you look up and he's almost picked up a first down at about 10 yards on just his second touch of the ball game.
I'll tell you what, we had Monrovia last year, and Clay Whitney, just a special player. Watch him again have the ability to outrun the edge player here, and then the physicalness to keep gaining yards. I like the way that Clay plays.
2 carries now for 38 yards, not surprisingly. 7 snaps so far on the drive, all of it on the ground, and nearly 4 minutes off the clock already for the Bulldogs. Handoff goes to the second man through. That is Whitney, and that'll be good enough for a first down. 3rd first down of the drive. Tackle made in combination by Matthew Funk and Lance Linder, but a first down for Monrovia.
You see a lot of teams, or you hear a lot of teams talk about you can't replicate something during the week of practice, but it's more spread. You don't ever think about this. It's really hard to replicate what's going to happen. The fullbacks and backs are so close to the line of scrimmage. It hits so fast. It's really hard to replicate that during just 1 week of practice. Even
when the high school that it came from is just down the street from Scecina, it's impossible to replicate this. Counter play, second man through. It's the first time we have called Paget in terms of a carry. Not the first time we have mentioned the name of Elijah Phillips. He's got 3 tackles already for Scecina.
I'm anxious to see what Scecina does because you want to stay true to your base front here. But right now, Monrovia is winning the line of scrimmage battle, which means now that's going to force Scecina to add another defensive lineman or start bringing pressure.
This is a Monrovia offense that reluctantly throws the ball. They've even thrown it less this year than in years gone by. Everything has been on the ground. Handoff to Butts, goes right up the middle, and that should move the chains or come pretty darn close to it yet again. And this drive is what Monrovia footballer Kevin Hutchins has been about for the last decade.
Well, I tell you what, he again learned this from Dick Harpold, and you alluded to at Howe High School here. Look how fast this hits. You don't even have time to react. You know, again, it allows your tackles to get up to that next level because the ends can't get there in time. And again, the one thing that's going on, the clock is running.
It also leads to games where you blink and you might miss it. 5 minutes already off the clock on this opening drive from Monrovia. 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers right behind. Butts up the middle, and he'll pick up 5 yards. And what was 3 or 4 yards a carry to start this drive now is 5 and 6 yards a touch for Monrovia.
Well, we talked about this earlier, and that is, it's not just a straight dive. Butts is hit in all 4 gaps here. He was right A and left A. Now, again, they're just tweaking how they're blocking the play a little bit here. And again, it may look like the same play, but it really is blocked differently. It's just a masterpiece of an offensive display right now.
33 yards for Butts on 7 carries already. Again at the middle, Butts. And Butts will get inside of the 5-yard line. And right now, Scecina does not have an answer in the early going for this Monrovia belly option.
Well, I tell you what, again, Butts and really the guard or both guards and center really, Hall, Gaston and Henderson. Watch how they are just blowing the line of scrimmage off, getting off the ball of Scecina here. And again, credit to Monrovia's front.
88 yards rushing on the drive from Monrovia. They started at their 12-yard line. There was 5 yards in penalties against them. Handoff goes to Butts. Butts down just shy of the goal line. He'll pick up 3. And most fullbacks these days don't get 9 carries in a month or a season. He has 9 carries on the opening drive, which is now taken over 6.5 minutes off the clock.
You got this Scecina offense again. They're ready to go. Defenses just cannot make a stop, and really, it hasn't been a close other than the one miscue of being off sides. Every play has gone at least 3 yards, and as much as 25.
That week of rest has done the Bulldogs right.
Wow,
how they're playing so far. This is the 14th play of the drive. Butts carried the entire way. Why not give it to him one more time? Touchdown for the Bulldogs, and for Butts, it is just his 2nd touchdown of the season.
Well, like you talked about, there's something that Kevin Hutchins saw, on film against these Crusaders. And again, Butts is just having his way. But watch the offensive line. Goodness gracious, they are blowing people off of the ball. Really, if I'm Scecina, I've got to come back and either cut the offensive lineman or I got to start slanting. But the problem is, if I do that, I now create bigger gaps. So it's really an odd place to be if you're out early trying to figure out the adjustment.
Jacob Smith is on for the extra point. Bit of a high snap. Holder recovers in time, and Smith's extra point is good. So the opening drive from Monrovia goes 88 yards, 14 plays, every one of them on the ground. 6 minutes and 57 seconds off of the clock. Vintage Monrovia football. The Bulldogs lead Scecina early, 7-0. Tonight's game is a service in part of our friends at Manley's Irish Mutt. Before the games, after the games, and in between the games during the week, you're always welcome on the east side at Manley's Irish Mutt for good times and a full menu of great food located at 10th and Shaylin, reminding you that everyone has a little Irish in them. Please note, 21 and over.
I'll tell you what, Greg, I'm anxious here to watch the Scecina offense, but as you talked about, there's 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Now, again, Ott's got to find a way to get his offense not to panic, just come out and play, because, again, if for something were to happen and they were to go three and out, they may not get the ball back until the second quarter.
Back deep to return for Scecina. Tavon Middlebrook, who is their starting running back. Drew Smith, that appears to be back deep as well for the Crusaders. Actually, that's Ty Woods, my apologies. Back deep to return. Woods also a running back that sees some carries. Smith tops this one. Smith will eventually, or Woods rather, will field it inside the 15-yard line. And he will eventually get ridden down at about the 20-yard line as he was swarmed over by a series of Monrovia tacklers. One of those back there was Zach Kitchen to help to make the play for the Bulldogs. So an impressive start from Monrovia. And again, they are 5-3, but when you look at whom they have played and whom they have lost to, this is a quality team. And when they made a run to the semi-state a couple of years ago, they had numerous losses because, again, they play a great schedule in their league.
Well, the one thing that Kevin Hutchins figured out early, if you're going to be good in the tournament, you have to be ready in the regular season.
Ayers in the pistol formation. Handoff goes to Middlebrooks. And Middlebrooks with a solid gain. And again, Scecina's not going to line up like Monrovia, but they don't mind lining up and running the football either. Middlebrooks picks up a gain of 4. He has over 600 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns on the season. And there's their star weapon, 18 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Over 1,600 yards passing this year. And a completion percentage of about 65%. Ayers looks to throw. Quick hitter, catch made, that's Baker. Baker gets out of a tackle, but gives up enough yardage. He's about a yard shy of the first down marker. But for Baker, that is his 45th catch on the season.
Well, I tell you what, just a real simple hitch route. Just came out. The ball comes out incredibly well Again, I know that Ayers is going to play baseball, but boy, he throws a good ball.
You don't think the defense was keyed on Baker? There were 4 green shirts in his neighborhood as soon as he caught that ball.
I say what again? He is pretty special, and again, I understand why Ayers also is getting some great looks as a quarterback.
Ayers under center on this snap, but it was a handoff to Middlebrook. And Monrovia, Mark Brancho, we talked about him from a blocking perspective as a lineman. Outstanding play as a defensive lineman. And it looks like a 3-and-out for Scecina on their opening drive.
Great job up front by Monrovia. Tried to run a quick trap play where I'm not blocking the tackle, I'm pulling. And again, Monrovia did a great job inside of stopping that.
Ayers, bad punt. Bad snap, got pressured. And you cannot script a better start from Monrovia as the punt of Ayers goes 7 yards.
Well, what I loved about that, and to me, this is what talks volumes about Kevin Hutchins' team, was he was pressured by Clay Whitney, the running back for Monrovia.
This game is brought to you in part by the historic Steer Inn Diner. It's Indianapolis' #1 East Side tradition since 1960. The Steer Inn offers carry-out delivery and catering, 5130 East 10th Street. Uber Eats now delivers during restaurant hours. Delivery for downtown Fountain Square. And go Crusaders. Handoff goes to Butts. A little better defended that time by the Crusaders. Tackle made by Tyrell Rasco. It's still a gain of 3 for Butts on the play.
And that's exactly what Monrovia wants. And again, if I'm Kevin Hutchins, I'm not going to change. I'm going to make you stop my fullback before I give you my 1,300-yard rusher in Clay Whitney.
Now 11 carries for Butts. 15 offensive plays Monrovia, 3 so far for Scecina. Already less than 3 minutes to play. Second man through that was Whitney. Got tripped up before he could get going. Tackle was made by Lance Linder. Second time we've called his name for the Crusaders. But even on that play where Whitney didn't get really going that much forward, he picks up 4 yards.
Well, I tell you what, all that Kevin Hutchins is doing, he's watching who's making the tackle. This is really close to option football, and it makes you, play your responsibility. And when the wrong person's making the tackle, that's how Kevin Hutchins adjusts.
Yeah, Whitney really tripped up over his own back on the play. Whitney, second man through, gets the handoff, first down. He'll pick up about 6 or 7 yards. Crusaders tackle made by Thierry McCormick Messer. But it is 6 first downs for Scecina here in the opening quarter.
And that clock is running. Watch here again. Whitney kind of got tripped up. Need to pick his knees up last play. I saw the coaches talking about that. He did that time. Another first down, and the clock just keeps running.
106 yards rushing in the opening quarter from Monrovia, and now it appears unlikely that Scecina will get the football back before the quarter comes to an end. Butts up the middle, gets the 20-yard line and stopped, but again, 3 yards in a clump of mud. That's what you expect to see from your fullback.
Well, again, I like what Kevin Hutchins is doing. He is feeding Butts. He's making Scecina stop the first option, and that is the fullback. And up to this point on the second drive, Scecina hadn't done that.
And Scecina's only loss came to Roncalli back in week number 5, and Roncalli now of the 5A persuasion. There you see Kevin Hutchins spent 2 years at Mooresville, then back to Monrovia. Handoff goes to Whitney. That's the first kind of straight-ahead handoff we have seen from Whitney. That proved effective as well. He'll pick up 5 or 6, sets up third down and short.
Well, I'll tell you what, again, up front, Monrovia is winning that line of scrimmage battle. If you look at that again, Butts or Whitney, they're not getting touched until they're 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. That's a huge recipe for success for Kevin Hutchins.
Thane Robertson, the left guard. Colton Hall, the left tackle. Tight end is Jaron Maxwell. Handoff goes to Butts. No, it doesn't. It goes the second man through. And that's going to be awfully close to a first down. That's, I think, actually the quarterback keeper. First time that Wagner has kept the football. They're going to measure on this one just to make sure if they don't get it. You'd expect Monrovia to go for it if it's 4th and a couple of inches. Where they are placing the football is right around the first down marker. Shane Gang might have to get a workout. Nope, they don't. First down, Bulldogs.
Well, I tell you what, again, there's so many little wrinkles with this belly offense here. And again, the biggest thing that's happening right now is the clock is running, and Scecina has had 3 plays, 3 in that first quarter.
And that's all they're going to have, because Monrovia does not need to run the football again before the end of the quarter. And if you're just getting here, folks, you've missed the entire first quarter already. Our score after 1, this is how Monrovia plays. 7-0. They lead to a number 3 Scecina in this Indiana Crossroads Conference game. Second quarter action comes your way next on the ISC Sports Network.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
And just like that, it is a 1-run lead for Texas.
Pushes it ahead with the jam.
And down. We're going to see a slamma-jamma. Put it in the air. Marley's there. Touchdown. Is it caught? Touchdown. Are you kidding me? Came down with the ball in the end zone. With the 3. Again, up the middle. Touchdown. Looking for the alley-oop.
Again? I'm going to miss the big game.
Troubled by your TV provider? Endeavor is here with eTV. With Endeavor's television service, there's no need to worry about a thunderstorm or whether your satellite dish is pointed in the right direction. We also provide internet, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
As the rain falls here at Monrovia this evening, let's thank our friends at Bellarmine University. An excellent college education is affordable at Bellarmine University in Louisville, the premier independent Catholic university in the South. Bellarmine University, explore the world and start within. And if you're the defensive staff of Scecina, what are you trying to change as quickly as possible?
Well, you've got to find a way to neutralize the front of Monrovia, because again, Butts, their fullback, is having his way, and I think the biggest thing right now is move your front. You have to, though, find a way to slant, get more people at the line of scrimmage, but when you do that, you take a chance now, because now you're going to put Whitney on an island. So right now, the big thing that has to happen is the interior of Scecina has to play better. 116
yards of offense from Monrovia, all on the ground. It comes on 20 carries, 20 offensive snaps to 3 in the first quarter in favor of the Bulldogs. So first down, Monrovia at the Scecina 13-yard line. Butts up the middle, and he'll dive forward, pick up 3 yards. Linder amongst those in on the tackle for the Crusaders. Second down.
And the one thing, Greg, that I've noticed is trying to figure out who's making there's 4 and 5 guys on the fullback now. That tells me to look for a counter or a second back through away from the fullback, because I think Scecina is over pursuing right now, which I understand why.
Unofficially, the first quarter took 21 minutes to play.
Wow. And again, we're on pace here, but this is exactly what Coach Hudson wants to happen.
Handoff goes to Whitney, bounces it outside and tripped up. Does not get back to the line of scrimmage. That was Tyshawn Woods. It now becomes the numbers game. You start committing more to stop that run inside of the box.
Well, I tell you what, you're in a situation here. I thought they would come back with some kind of counter, and they did. Scecina did a fantastic job of staying at home on the backside, and again, limiting and really losing yards with Whitney there.
So the line to gain is the 3-yard line, and it sets up 3rd down and 8. Monrovia reluctant to pass the football. This may still be a running down for the Bulldogs. Second man through. It's Paget, finds a seam, and Paget does not reach the end zone, but he does get a first down for now. However, a flag has been thrown, and it will be a hold against Monrovia.
Well, I tell you what, there's that's the one case that again, you don't want to be able to, or don't want to have something that beats yourself, and right there they did exactly that.
And that hold, where do they mark it off from? They marked it off from about the 8-yard line. So it will now be 3rd down and 15. That is the second penalty of the game that goes against the Bulldogs, and that one is a crucial one because it wiped away what would have been 1st down and goal. So 3rd and 15 at the 18-yard line. Quick toss goes to Whitney. Whitney makes a couple of defenders miss, but simply put, not enough real estate to work with. So Whitney will pick up 8. Field goal kicker races on, thinking, here's my chance for 3. Coaching staff still kind of talking things over with Jacob Smith, and it looks like he's not going to get his chance for 3. 4th down.
Well, I'll tell you what, long by Jacob Smith of 29 yards, just probably outside his range.
Here he comes.
You know what? I like the idea here, because the worst thing that's going to happen is you'll give the ball back to Scecina on the 20-yard line.
So Smith had plenty of leg on his extra point on the last possession. And this one appears to be of, again, a similar distance. They'll mark it down officially, 27-yard kick. Did he curl it inside the upright? No, he blocked it wide right. And the second drive comes up empty for Monrovia, and it remains a 1-score game. Let's thank our friends at Indiana Wesleyan University for their support of tonight's broadcast. Indiana Wesleyan University, the world is waiting for you to make a difference in a way that only you can. IWU can help you discover, clarify, or develop your calling. Schedule a visit today at discoveriw.com. And now, does that infuse some confidence in this Scecina ball club?
Well, I'll tell you what, the biggest thing that has to happen right now is you got to take a deep breath, and you got to feel like, okay, we've dodged a bullet. Again, without the holding call, I think this might be 14-0 Monrovia. So, again, you're going to take a sigh of relief. Now let's refocus and go forward offensively.
Trips to the top side of the formation for Scecina. Ayers was 1 for 1 passing on the opening drive. Shotgun snap, and Middlebrook, you're not sure if a Monrovia defender tripped him up or his own offensive lineman did. He does pick up a couple. 2nd down.
Again, nice job there. Again, even though Scecina is spread, they want to run the football there. The timing on the snap kind of disrupted the play.
So 2 wide on each side this time for the Crusaders. Ayers, quick hitter. Baker on the slant. That should be a 1st down, and you pick up 12 yards. And again, that Scecina plays feels that play is there every time because of how good Ayers and Baker are.
And they are, and that's just because the ball comes out so fast. That's the one thing that makes the short passing game so effective, is because the ball, from the time he touches his hands to the time it leaves his hand, is so quick. You don't have time to really react.
So Ayers 2 for 2 so far in the game. That was the first down for the Crusaders. Quick hitter. Ball is dropped. Incomplete pass. Let's show you the defensive starters from Monrovia. I don't think we ever had the chance to in the last drive, and they have been solid so far, have the Monrovia seniors defensively. We talked about Brancho going both ways. Whitney in the same boat. So is Paget. And again, at this level of football, both these schools from an enrollment standpoint are 2A schools. Your best players are going to see the field on both offense and defense.
And really, again, both schools do a great job of limiting how often they have to go both ways, but they do get their best players on the field on both sides of the ball.
Four-man defensive front being shown here by Monrovia. Ayers overthrows Baker. Pretty good coverage being applied by Jalen Neese. Now back-to-back incompletions for Ayers, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
I tell you what, it's one of those things. Anytime that you see a quarterback kind of clutching or double pumping, he starts squeezing that ball, and the more he squeezes it, the faster it's going to come out. And normally it's a little bit off target or high.
Yeah, 2 safeties back here for Monrovia, but they're not exactly taking that deep of a drop. They're right at around the line to gain of the 1st down. And 2 backers sitting back and reading defensively as well. Really thrown into a 7-man coverage as Ayers. Feels some pressure. Tries to get rid of the foot. That's a lateral. That should be a live football. And they scramble for it. Middlebrook picks it up. And that time Ayers is simply trying to avoid a sack, but you should never do what Ayers did because he threw that football backwards, and the referee was quick to realize that was a live football and let it play on.
Well, heads up by Middlebrook of realizing it as well. But again, that's a case where you haven't had a lot of snaps. You're trying to make more out of a play than what you need to. And again, Ayers just needs to realize it's a long game. Let your defense help you here a little bit here.
Last time Ayers punted, it did not go well. They will bring in Linder to punt this time. The last punt that Ayers had was a 7-yard kick. Flag is thrown, and I think that's going to go against the sideline, a sideline warning for Monrovia, so it really won't be marked off. The next such violation will be. Linder's kick, a little better. High kick, fielded by Neese at about the 47-yard line. Let's call it about a 25-yard punt with no return. And again, the offensive plays very limited so far for Scecina.
Well, and the issue still comes back. You've got to find a way up front. If you're going to be Scecina and you're going to have a chance to win this game, you've got to find a way to somehow neutralize the front of Monrovia, because right now they are content. They would love for this to be an 8-minute drive, 3 yards a play.
Tonight's second quarter brought to us by the NCAA Hall of Champions, located in beautiful White River State Park in downtown Indianapolis. Experience all 24 NCAA sports at the Hall of Champions. 2 floors of interactive exhibits. Shoot some hoops, kick a field goal, test your vertical, and more. Plan your visit, ncaachampions.org. Now 5-man defensive front. Monrovia's going to run against it. They see 10. Butts with the handoff, and he'll pick up 3 or 4 more yards.
Well, the interesting thing will be is, again, there's not too many fronts or defenses that Kevin Hutchins has not seen. So he understands when you take another lineman down and take a linebacker out or a safety out, where you're weak at. So I'll be anxious to see what Kevin does here on how he adjusts to what Scecina's done now of going to 5 down linemen.
2nd and 7. 5 linemen, 3 backers, and 2 safeties back behind. Paget on the counter, and Scecina was waiting on it. Tackle is made by Liam Wright for the Crusaders. No gain, 3rd and long.
Well, what I like what Scecina's done is they've covered up the linemen, and now your linebackers have to be great tacklers. And I know that's why they're there. But again, look for some kind of counter or misdirection by Monrovia coming up.
And again, Monrovia has yet to attempt a pass tonight. On the last drive, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, they ran the ball. They'll do it again here. Whitney, flag thrown. Right now, it's a 1st down, but again, that's only for right now because this one is coming back because of a hold.
And really what caused that was Scecina being more aggressive up front.
They're going to call it a cut block, excuse me.
A chop block. And again, what that means basically is if I'm engaging you, okay, I cannot be engaged by a second lineman, and they were there. I can cut you, okay, but I can't be high load, meaning one lineman takes me high and the next one cuts me, and that's what happened there.
And that is not just a 10-yard penalty, that is a 15-yard penalty. And it gets marked off from the spot of the foul, which means it's going to be 3rd and about a quarter of the field coming up here for Monrovia.
With the conditions and all of the rain, I still think that we're probably going to see a run out of Monrovia.
Clock rolling, approaching 7 minutes left to go in this first half. Monrovia scored on their opening drive, went 88 yards with it. The 3rd and a ways. Wagner will look to throw. Able to get rid of one defender, but not defenders 2 and 3. And one more time, it is Elijah Phillips. And we'll get credit for the rare sack against Monrovia. A loss of a couple on the play.
What I like what Scecina's done is they're covering up both both guards and the center. Now it becomes a quick game now. Can my defensive end and linebackers beat your tackles and wings in that possession? Scecina did.
Paget is the punter. First time we have called his name in this role this evening for the Bulldogs. Gets away. Bit of a wobbler for a kick off the side of his foot. It does take a pro Monrovia bounce. And in the thick grass here at Gordon Hadley Field, it will dead at about the 39-yard line. So a 29-yard punt, but importantly for Monrovia, there is no return. Tonight's game presented in part by the historic Steer Inn Diner. It's Indianapolis' #1 East Side tradition since 1960. The Steer Inn offers carry-out, delivery, and catering, 5130 East 10th Street. Uber Eats delivers during restaurant hours, delivery for downtown, Fountain Square, and more. Go Crusaders.
Well, again, now Kansas Scecina, again, they've been close on running the football. That's what I Hurley wants to be able to do. I know he loves Ayers throwing it, though.
Ayers, four-man rush, looks to throw the deep ball down the middle, has a man wide open, and just overthrew him. And you see David Baker put his arms up, too, because he had his man beat. Either way, Ayers misses for a third consecutive attempt.
I love it. I've never seen or met a good wide receiver that did not think he was open every single play. Baker was there, and I understand that, and kind of surprised that Ayers missed that one.
McCormick Messer was the intended target. He is their second leading receiver on the season with 29 catches, 4 of those having gone for a touchdown. Well, Ayers now 2 of 5 for 16 yards in the game. On the draw, nope. Ayers keeps it, throws in the flat, goes right back to McCormick Messer. That's good for a first down. Paget spins him out of bounds as he crosses the 50-yard line. First time that Scecina has been into Monrovia territory in tonight's game.
Great patience there shown by Ayers. Great job by Messer there of getting the ball and getting upfield. What I liked about that was Ayers redirected his feet because he was looking at more down the middle of the field, redirected out to where Messer was.
4 wide every play so far for Scecina. Ayers, pump fake, timing the play kind of blown up. Catch is made for Scecina. That is Jaden Barnes on the catch. His first of the night, but it does lose yardage for Scecina.
Again, they were looking, Scecina was looking at something more downfield here. Great job by Barnes of making something out of nothing.
Weather conditions certainly playing a factor with the rain coming down on this chilly night, especially in comparison to what we have played in the first 8 weeks of the season. Ayers throws the deep ball down the sideline looking for Baker and could not make the dive and grab. He had gotten behind his man in Jalen Neese.
Well, I tell you what, the one thing that's really hard to understand at times is when that DB turns his back, the receiver's open. The one thing you can't do is overthrow the receiver here. Baker's got an advantage here, but again, that's exactly what Ayers did.
So 3rd and long for Scecina. The first 2 drives have ended in punts. Just 2 first downs, and again, in this limited possession game, we have played 19 minutes, and they have had the ball just 3 times. Ayers rolls right side, feels pressure right side. Comes back left side, able to make a man miss. Throws across his body, and it's knocked out. Good defensive work by Maxwell for Monrovia. The intended target was Armand Hillman for Scecina. And Hillman did a great job of turning from wide receiver to defensive back on that play.
Well, I love what Monrovia has done here. They're making Scecina throw the ball downfield. Well, in this condition and weather, that plays into the Monrovia defensive backs here. Other than the quick hitters, they've really taken away a lot of what Scecina wants to do.
So Ayers is back on for his second kick. He's going to fake it, looks to throw. Throws down the sideline, has a man. Hillman's got the grab, first down. Fake punt by Scecina, and the gamble pays off in a huge way for the Crusaders.
Well, I tell you what, I love what Odd Hurley's doing. Again, he understands they're limited on what they can get done offensively here. Great job, great throw and catch here by Scecina, and they are knocking inside the red zone.
That is a 33-yard pitch and catch. First grab of the night for Hillman. And just the third down of this game. The first time that Scecina's had the football inside of the Monrovia red zone. Ayers looking for the end zone, same man, and the result is the same as well, touchdown. So one play after the fake punt, Scecina finds the end zone, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
Great job of Ayers at just giving his receiver a chance to run with the catch here. In this rain that's now come down harder than ever. Great job by Hillman of adjusting to it, and just a super throw by Ayers.
So Hillman with back-to-back catches. For Ayers, it is his 19th touchdown pass of the season. And on to kick the extra point is Drew Smith. So that fake punt could be a pivotal play in this game. And the kick is good. 4:14 to play in the first half. Scecina has tied up Monrovia at 7. We're back in a moment as you're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
Not getting their messages? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eWireless. Endeavor Communications combines the nation's largest 4G LTE network with friendly hometown service, so you'll always be connected to your kids. We also provide internet, television, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Bellarmine is my home away from home. I feel like I have a family there.
That connectedness kind of pushes everyone as a collective group to be something more.
Everybody looks excited to go to class, and professors even stop in the quad to talk to you, and that's something that you don't find everywhere.
I know that Bellarmine really cares about whether or not their students can afford the university, and they go out of their way to make sure they can afford the university.
I don't think I would be who I am today without Bellarmine University.
Let's thank our friends at Marian University, looking for future leaders who want to make the world a better place for all of us. Find out what you're made of at Marian University. Visit at marian.edu/visit. Greg Rakestraw, Lance Scheib with you on the ISC Sports Network. A fake punt leads to a touchdown a play later. Kick fielded by Monrovia's Todd Kamek. And Kamek will be steered backwards at about the 25-yard line.
Well, Greg, what I'm curious about, Scecina goes to a 5-man front. Now, what's the adjustment that Kevin Hutchins is going to make? Because really, you make your adjustments midway through the second quarter and then towards the end of the third quarter. Those are the two big times when you, as a coach, really earn your money.
Touchdown, a missed field goal, and a punt so far from Monrovia. But frankly, the two drives that did not end in scores, holding penalties, played a big part in slowing down those drives. Monrovia has crossed the 50 in all three of their drives. And if they would have it their way, they'll have it for the final 4:06 of this quarter as well. They're going to throw the ball, looking for the deep pass, have a man, but overthrew Padgett. First time that Monrovia's actually attempted a pass in this game.
Well, what Scecina has done is they went to a 5-down lineman. They took a safety out. And so now there technically is nobody really guarding their tight end here. You're asking our wing back, you're asking a linebacker to do both, play run and guard against the wing here. Great adjustment by Coach Hutchins. Just didn't quite execute the way that he wanted.
But what we did not catch was there was a hold on Scecina on the play. And so I'm not sure if maybe the reason that that ball was overthrown was because the receiver might have been grabbed coming off the line of scrimmage, because Scecina wasn't thinking they were going to throw the football there. So with that, first penalty of the game against the Crusaders, and that will lead to a first down from Monrovia and a free 10 yards.
With Monrovia only throwing the ball 23 times coming into this game, if I'm out Hurley and Scecina, I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to crowd the line of scrimmage and make Monrovia throw the football.
So still officially Monrovia has yet to throw the football in tonight's contest. We go back to the run. It is Butts, goes behind his right tackle. Woods is able to slow him down before Linder and Funk then help to finish the job. And Butts will pick up 3, and I have that now as 15 carries for 60 yards for Butts. He had 10 carries on the opening drive of the game.
I'll tell you what, I like what Coach Hutchins has done here. Regardless of what Scecina is doing, we're going to start with the fullback. If I can get 3 yards, I'm awful happy.
Both teams have their full complement of timeouts, as you can see on the screen. Handoff goes to Whitney. Bounces it outside. Whitney right around the first down marker. We're going to say he stayed in bounds. Question is that he now something because they do rule him past the first down. First down number 9 of the half for the Bulldogs.
Well, great adjustment by Scecina, and now the counter is by Coach Hutchins. You're going to give. He now is giving the ball to where he wants to Clay Whitney, his best running back. And so, again, that's what you give up is you've got to stop Butts, the fullback, but now you're one less player short on the edge to stop Clay Whitney.
Whitney 9 carries for 74 yards in this game. Handoff up the middle. And a minimal gain on that play. First time we have called the name of Foster Knight this evening on the carry for Monrovia.
Great job by Foster Knight there of getting off the block up of the Monrovia offensive lineman. He got cut, then got off the ground. Great effort by Foster.
Butts on the sideline, just kind of catching his breath. Getting a play or 2 off. Second down and 9. Little I formation. It's Whitney. Whitney for a first down. That was the old standard kind of pro set I formation that, again, you'll see Monrovia go to occasionally instead of the split back look.
Well, again, you talk about coaches making adjustments, talk about them. That's a great adjustment by Coach Hutchins, where now I'm going to sit there and say, I'm going to turn and give my best player a lead blocker, and let's see how you adjust to it.
Approaching 2 minutes left to go in this rapidly moving first half. On the dive, it's Knight, and Knight gets just a yard. Knight, a junior, 6'2", and 200 pounds.
Great job by Scecina, and what I really like there again is they're just creating a pile. There's nowhere for Knight to run the football, and again, nice adjustment by the Crusaders.
Now less than 90 seconds to go before halftime. Scecina will have the ball to begin the third quarter. Handoff goes to Whitney. Whitney spun down. He'll be shy of the first down marker. And a timeout going to be taken here by Kevin Hutchins and Monrovia before the play that will be 3rd down and 3 from where they're making 3rd down and 2 rather, where the officials are marking after Whitney picks up 7 yards. And Whitney came in averaging 9 yards a carry. He's not far off that right now. 11 carries for 92 yards this evening.
Well, I like the adjustment of going back to the eye. There's really no one right now for Knight to even block. But again, I like the idea of let's get the ball into my best player's hands and Clay Whitney. Let's make a man-on-man block, and let's now isolate our fullback on a linebacker and give the ball to my best player. And right now, that adjustment has been a great adjustment by Coach Hutchins.
Let's thank some of our tremendous crew this evening working in less than ideal conditions. Thanks to Greg Mash, Elijah Match, Greg Goggins, Brent Vanderweilen, Mike Rossick, and others that are on the broadcast this evening. Alongside Lance Scheib, Greg Rakestraw with you here on the ISC Sports Network. A great way to wrap up our regular season. I won't be far from here next Friday night. Beech Grove at Mooresville. One of the games we'll have for you next Friday evening.
That should be a great game. I mean, those again, you're looking at the job that Mike Gillen's done. You're looking at Beech Grove, and again, I like both teams. I like what Monrovia's done, or Mooresville, but I'll be anxious to see how the tournament goes for Mike Gillen.
3rd and 2. Toss play. Paget has the first down. Did a good job of holding and letting his blockers do their job. First down at Monrovia at the Scecina 28-yard line.
You and I both have done Monrovia games before. The thing I love about all the backs that have played for Monrovia is they're just patient. They let things happen, and to their credit, they're very good at it.
Good job by the backs of not blocking around,
exactly.
Blocking inside of the arms to not get flagged for a holding call there too. Wagner looks to throw, has a man, defender slipped, but I'm not sure if Nice either lost it or simply he's so unused to catching a football that he wasn't sure where it was coming from. Second down.
Well, I like the play call there. DB slips. Again, with the rain coming down, it's really difficult to throw the football if you do it all the time.
Take the look.
Well, again, that ball, you got to give yourself a chance there. Wagner I like where he's throwing the ball. Just give it a little more air and give the receiver a chance to get there.
Knight stumbled coming out of the backfield, and he gets dropped. He'll lose a yard on the play. And again, time is of the essence now, and Monrovia will take their second timeout. And again, you would still think it's 4-down territory from here. You can run the ball again, take another timeout if you want to. And if you're Scecina, if you get a stop on third down, you yourself think about taking a timeout, trying to get the football back before you go into halftime.
Well, I tell you what, right now, this first half could not have gone any better for Coach Hutchins and the Monrovia Bulldogs. I think the biggest thing right now that's going on is they've been able to run the football. They've been able to choose when they want to throw it, and when Kevin Hutchins can do that, Monrovia is awful dangerous.
It is some hardy souls that are out here tonight. And we knew it was going to be a bit chillier this evening. The rain forecast kind of creeped up late in the week. Tonight's a good night to stay at home and watch this one on the ISC Sports Network. We want to thank our tremendous hosts here at Monrovia High School for being kind to us. Have our own broadcast booth this evening here at Gordon Hadley Field. Third down. Butts is back in the game now for Monrovia. Looking to throw the football into double coverage, and it's caught. There's a flag for pass interference, but Maxwell, a phenomenal catch, splitting double coverage.
Great job again. What I love what Wagner did there was he gave his receiver a chance to catch the ball. It was slightly underthrown, but the defense has got his back to the quarterback here. Great job by Wagner allowing Maxwell to come back, which Maxwell did a phenomenal job of coming back through the pass interference. Nice play call.
So you would think if you're Monrovia, you would decline the penalties. You get more yardage on simply the catch. But again, time is of the essence. You have just one timeout. 34 seconds left to go.
The one thing I love, Greg, that great officials do is they'll give you the actual call. You don't want to do this, coach. Here's what you want, and they kind of walk you through it, which is kind of just an ironic way that officials do work it.
So first completed pass of the game for Monrovia. And on the season, that is the 10th completed pass for Monrovia. Just to give you an idea of how little they throw the football. So 1st and 10, and they can get a first down without getting the touchdown, but now you're starting to count number of plays, and the one thing with not taking the penalty is that the clock does run. So you got to snap it quickly. And with that, handoff goes to Whitney. Whitney down inside the 5. Timeout coming from Monrovia. They'll take their final timeout with 23.7 seconds left to go. So Whitney will pick up 8 yards. That puts him spot on at 100 after 12 carries. But now, Lance, do you call almost 2 plays if you want to run the ball here? Does it have to be a passing play now from Monrovia? How do you handle this knowing you're out of timeouts?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to do whatever I can. What's my best play to get the ball to Clay Whitney? And I don't care if that's a toss, if that's in the eye, if it's a double handoff, whatever it's got to be. But again, you can run the ball here. Your option now as a coach is run a second play or spike it. If you want to be safe, you have your second play right now is going to be a spike, because now you're guaranteed, because if for some reason you're stopped twice, you take a chance of the clock running out. So I'm going to say get the ball to Whitney. We don't score, spike the ball.
So 2nd down and 3 at the 4-yard line. One thing I don't think you can do either is think about getting your special teams unit on fire drill style in these conditions, even if it would be a chip shot field goal if you don't make it here. Quick handoff to Whitney. Whitney powers his way in. Touchdown. That looked like a sprint draw to a halfback.
That's just a quick veer. You don't block the defensive end, and the play hits so fast. Again, the quarterback darn near doesn't get the ball to him, but it hits so fast, there's no way for the Scecina defense to react. But again, get the ball to my best player. Don't think plays, think players in these type of situations. Great job by Kevin Hutchins.
So Smith is on for the extra point. Plenty of distance on that one, and his kick is good. And how Monrovia started the half is how they're going to end the half as well. As Scecina will get the football back, but with less than 20 seconds to play before halftime. So 14-7 is our score. Take one more look at the play here.
Again, Whitney straight ahead on a full sprint. His momentum is going to get him into the end zone. You know, again, what I like about Whitney, again, 11 touchdowns on the season coming in. He knows how to score the ball.
13 first downs in the half for Monrovia, and that is on 4 possessions. Whitney over 100 yards rushing. He has the team running about 175 yards, and that's kind of about average for Monrovia, about 300, 350 yards rushing a night. It's what they do.
Well, in these conditions, because you're going to get them in Indiana, especially late in the season, and now coming into the tournament. And again, Kevin Hutchins' offensive line is playing really well. I like the adjustment by Scecina, but right now, again, give the upper hand to what the adjustments have been made by Coach Hutchins.
Smith tops the kick, and the up back will fall on it at the 34-yard line, which means not much time comes off the clock. That's Shane Bakemeyer. You've got a quarterback that's got a great arm in airs. Do you at least try a pass or two down the field here, or you say, you know what, enough, let's go to halftime?
I throw it. You know, again, you know, your plays are limited to begin with if you're Scecina. And again, with all 3 timeouts, I'm going to move airs. I'm going to do something to try to get the ball, you know, over the middle of the field. The 4 verticals were open last time, so I'm going to do something. I'm going to take a couple shots here.
Last time Crusaders had the football, they scored. 14-yard touchdown pass from Ayers to Armand Hillman. The standard operating procedure for the Crusaders, a 4 wide receiver set. They'll overload the far side of the field. Ayers looking for somebody to throw the ball to. Ayers it deep down the field. Baker through his hands. One of the better receivers in the area, and he dropped it.
Well, I tell you what, he was wanting to run before he caught the ball. Great job by Ayers of buying time just to try to give Baker a chance to get downfield. Great job up front, not a lot of pressure, and again gives his receiver a chance here to take the ball and really have a chance to score late. I would come back to something similar again.
Got time for maybe 2 more plays here if you're Scecina. Less than 10 seconds to go before halftime. Ayers. Again, just chucks this one down the field. Looking for Baker. And he almost caught it on the rebound. However, that ball took so long to get down the field. That is the last play of the half. But on senior night, Monrovia trying to knock off the number 3 team in Class 2A, and they've got a touchdown lead going to the break. Our score, Monrovia 14 and Scecina 7. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, the Book Aquatic Fitness halftime show as you're watching high school football here on the ISC Sports Network.
Rose for the end zone, man open at the touchdown. Touchdown grab for Marion. There you go.
And why pull up for a jumper from 3 or even a mid-range when you can go right down the lane?
Sowers is back, reaches up, and it's a grand slam for De La Salle.
All alone. Scott got it. Great look by Coach to break down the defense.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Keep up to date with your favorite high school, college, and semi-professional teams on the ISC Sports app. Download it today from the App Store, Google Play, or on Roku. The ISC Sports Network. Local lives here.
I chose Marion University. I feel like this is a place where I could excel academically.
The smaller class size has always been important to me.
You're going to get to interact with real business people.
With our first course, you're already starting and running a business.
The education department was really excellent.
The nursing program was really great for me.
The faculty in the theology department, they care about whether or not you're doing well because they know that ultimately they're giving you the core of what it is your faith is built around, and your faith grows all that much more.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
This isn't just any Hubler. I'm Greg Hubler, and I'm always here to help. You ask, why does that matter? Well, I'm here to ensure you get the best experience and the best possible price. And don't forget, every new Chevy comes back by the Greg Hubler promise. That's 3 years of scheduled maintenance included with every new vehicle purchase. This isn't just any Hubler.
It's Greg Hubler Chevy.
Let me show you why we're different than any other dealer.
Cruise on over to Canby.
Welcome back on the ISC Sports Network to Gordon Hadley Field here at Monrovia High School. Our Boqua Aquatic Fitness halftime show. Boqua, an exercise program combining aquatics, athletics, and high-intensity interval training. It's a water workout your body will love you for. Grab your boats and get wet. And if you're in the stands, getting wet is not a problem right now. Right now, what is a problem for Scecina is trying to slow down this Monrovia rushing attack, whether it is Clay Whitney or Cole Butts. Either option has been successful for Monrovia. A touchdown drive to start the game, a touchdown drive to finish the half. And Monrovia trying to land the upset of Scecina as Lance, they lead at 14-7.
I tell you what a great game plan, and the plan is working perfectly for Monrovia and Kevin Hutchins right now. In these inclement weather here, they have been able to run the football, run the clock, and by doing that, they're resting their defense and keeping that vaunted Scecina offense and Ayers, their great quarterback, off of the field.
Scecina has had 17 offensive snaps in the first half, and one of their key completions, in fact, their longest play from scrimmage, was actually a fake punt. Now their punter is their quarterback in Mac Ayers, but a 33-yard completion set that up for a touchdown some 14 plays later. But without that, we're having even a different conversation here at halftime.
Well, I tell you what, Monrovia has really dominated most of this game. Now, we talk about limiting big plays in the pregame show, and really both teams have done okay with that. But again, Monrovia will get big plays just because of the way they run their offense. But the best thing that they've done is they have kept Mac Ayers on the sideline.
Stats and highlights come your way in a matter of moments, but first this from our friends at Boqua.
BOQA stands for Body Aquatics. Had a woman that worked out in one of the facilities I worked out. She had a hard time picking up her kids. She and her mom started taking BOQA. And after about a month and a half, she came up to me before one class and just gave me a huge hug. And I was like, well, hi, how you doing? She's like, you've saved my life. After a month and a half in doing this, my doctor was so amazed at how well I could move and how easily my joints weren't aching. And the biggest thing, I've been able to pick up my daughter without pain for the first time in years.
The thing that BOQA does for me with Parkinson's is it helps me with my balance. It's a big thing. It helps me keep my muscles flexible because with Parkinson's your body becomes stiff. This helps me be flexible, get exercise, and helps with weight loss. It's been a great thing for me.
BOQA is athletics, aquatics, and exercise put together in a fun, effective package that allows you to get in great shape, safely, effectively with a bunch of friends.
It is a low-impact exercise, so it's not hard on your joints. People who have injuries can do all the exercises at their own pace, but yet get the benefit of exercise in the water.
My degree is in exercise science. And so in college, I discovered athletic training, and so I started working with athletics right off the bat. And with an internship that I had with the Philadelphia Eagles, the head trainer said, well, because you have aquatic training, because you're a lifeguard, you get to work out the athletes that have lower extremity injuries in the water. Literally thrown in the deep end of the pool to learn how to do aquatic therapy.
I saw my sister, and she said, come take BOQA with me. I said, what's BOQA? And she said, well, you'll find out. And I did. And I've taken BOQA every chance I've had since. If I could do it 5 nights a week, I probably would.
Tired of watching the same old things on TV? Something new is on the horizon. The ISC Sports Network. Contact your cable provider today to add the ISC Sports Network. See the big games, the big moments, the championships, and more from all across the state. High schools, colleges, original content you can't find anywhere else. On the ISC Sports Network, it's all here. Find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
What are you made of? Until now, you learned you were atoms, DNA, and exactly 206 bones, which you learned how to use to compete. And now comes the biggest decision of your life. We'll be here to challenge you, think outside yourself, investigate, find a new way, get involved, and serve others. The next 4 years will shape the rest of your life. So ask yourself, what are you made of?
This isn't just any Hubler. I'm Greg Hubler, and I'm always here to help. You ask, why does that matter? Well, I'm here to ensure you get the best experience and the best possible price. And don't forget, every new Chevy comes backed by the Greg Hubler Promise. That's 3 years of scheduled maintenance included with every new vehicle purchase. This isn't just any Hubler.
It's Greg Hubler Chevy.
Let me show you why we're different than any other dealer.
Cruise on over to Canby.
Back at Gordon Hadley Field of Monrovia High School, Greg Rakestraw, Lance Scheib with you on the ISC Sports Network. Time now for our halftime highlights. And again, when you've got a limited possession game and the conditions that these guys are playing in, not as many highlights to show you, but clearly the entire offensive series from Monrovia has been a highlight, whether it's been Butts or Whitney that's gotten the job done for the Bulldogs.
Well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't look real fancy, but boy, has it been effective all game. And just, again, what Kevin Hutchins does here, and his kids have bought into it, and I just love how they just ground and pound to make yards.
That touchdown toss from Mac Ayers was his 19th of the season. It came after the fake punt to set them up in scoring position. Again, he is now 6 of 13 throwing the football for 77 yards in the game. That one goes to Armand Hillman for the touchdown grab. Monrovia, again, this is their lone completed pass of the game, even with a pass interference call. That one caught by Jaron Maxwell. It went for 18 yards. Monrovia would decline at the penalty. 190 yards of offense in the half. A majority of that comes from Clay Whitney. Those four gave him 103 for the half, and his touchdown run put Monrovia back in front.
Tell you what, Clay Whitney has done a fantastic job in the I formation split back as a lead blocker. Caused a poor punt by Ayers. He's really doing it on both sides of the ball and really in all three phases of the game.
All right, so those are our halftime highlights brought to us by Endeavor Communications. Now, we have a fan of the game that we need to give away, courtesy of our friends of Manly's Irish Mutt. Before the games, after the games, and in between the games during the week, you're always welcomed on the east side at Manly's Irish Mutt for good times and a full menu of great food. Located at 10th and Shaylin, reminding you that everyone has a little Irish in them. Again, you must be 21 years of age, and if that is your rain protection on a night like this, you are our fan of the game. Congratulations to that gentleman representing the Crusaders this evening.
Well, I tell you what, again, true fans and anybody out here right now at our game has got to just love their Crusaders or love their Bulldogs, because it is flat miserable. Besides being cold, the rain has now come into play. And really, with all that said, of the conditions, it's been a relatively clean game played by the teams thus far.
This is one of 6 games that you can see this week on the ISC Sports Network. 2 other games you can see right now live on our website at iscsportsnetwork.com. Marion and Harrison, and Marion leading that contest right now. And again, that can have an effect on the North Central Conference Championship. Also, Lawrenceburg and South Dearborn. Now, here is the upcoming schedule that you can see, whether it's on the channel or on the website. Beech Grove and Mooresville, Greencastle and Danville, Chittard and Ritter, and our group from ETC Sports will have Batesville and Greensburg for you on the 19th as well. On October the 26th, Noblesville and Lafayette Jeff, Kokomo and McCutcheon. But on the 26th and 27th, you can check the IHSAA Soccer State Finals. 2 games from Carroll Stadium on Friday at 6 and 8, and then 4 games starting at 10:30 in the morning on October the 27th. One other thing you can check out on our channel throughout the month of October is We Are EC, a great documentary put together about the legendary history of East Chicago basketball. You can also download the movie on iTunes for just 99 cents throughout the month of October. And you'll see it every day on the ISC Sports Network in October. We Are EC. We are at halftime, and we are going to a break because both teams are ready to come back out here and start the third quarter. Scecina will have the football, but Monrovia leads it by a score of 14-7. That'll do it for our Boca Aquatic Fitness halftime show as you're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
Bellarmine is my home away from home. I feel like I have a family there.
That connectedness kind of pushes everyone as a collective group to be something more.
Everybody looks excited to go to class, and professors even stop in the quad to talk to you, and that's something that you don't find everywhere.
I know that Bellarmine really cares about whether or not their students can afford the university, and they go out of their way to make sure they can afford the university.
I don't think I would be who I am today without Bellarmine University.
Worried your family isn't protected at home? Have no fear, Endeavor is here with eShield Security Solutions. With Endeavor eShield Security Solutions, peace of mind comes from knowing your family and your business are safe. We also provide internet, television, wireless, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
This isn't just any Hubler. I'm Greg Hubler, and I'm always here to help. You ask, why does that matter? Well, I'm here to ensure you get the best experience and the best possible price. And don't forget, every new Chevy comes back by the Greg Hubler Promise. That's 3 years of scheduled maintenance included with every new vehicle purchase. This isn't just any Hubler.
It's Greg Hubler Chevy.
Let me show you why we're different than any other dealer.
Cruise on over to Canby.
I've always liked Indianapolis. I've been interested in the bigger city life. The community and everything fell into place.
With my degree, I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse. Indianapolis has several hospitals and different options to choose from as to where I should go.
I chose Indianapolis because I love the Pacers, I love the Colts, and this is a basketball city. Just wanted to stay in the city, play in front of my friends and family, and try to give Marion my best.
It hits the rim right as the light goes in.
Hogan across the middle, finds the end zone, and touchdown.
Wow. Denhart looking to throw this time. Going deep down the field, he's got Fusich. Look at this one again. Time will expire and the Gophers will win.
Is on the board. The North wins 10-7. Tired of watching the same old things on TV? Something new is on the horizon. The ISC Sports Network. Contact your cable provider today to add the ISC Sports Network. See the big games, the big moments, the championships, and more from all across the state. High schools, colleges, original content you can't find anywhere else. On the ISC Sports Network, it's all here. Find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Third quarter of action about to get started. It's presented in part by Greg Hubler Chevrolet. At Greg Hubler Chevy, every new vehicle purchase comes with their exclusive Greg Hubler Promise. That means 3 years or 45,000 miles of scheduled maintenance, complimentary service pickup and drop-off, and a free car wash and vacuum with every visit. Visit GregHublerChevy.com for more information. Greg Rakestraw, Lance Scheib with you here on the ISC Sports Network. Let's give you some scores from across the area. West Lafayette leads Tipton 21-0. That is at halftime of the Hoosier Crossroads Championship game. Warren Central leads Bowling Green of Kentucky 55-7. That is at the end of the second quarter. North Decatur leads Oldenburg Academy 13-12. South Decatur leads Cambridge City Lincoln 19-6. Rushville leads Greensburg by a score of 20-14. Delphi leading Taylor 14-0. That is toward the end of the first quarter. Angola looking to go 9-0 in the season, leading Eastside 27-7. Same score in Southern Indiana. Silver Creek leading Cordon Central.
I'm real curious here, Greg, and again, these type of games here, you really find out, really the makeup of your team, because it's a good game. It's for a championship. The weather is not really what you've had for the last 8 weeks, and so I'll be anxious to see who really wants to play here in the second half. As we still have rain coming down.
I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Low line drive kick that will steer out of bounds, and so Scecina will have the football at their own 35-yard line. to see exactly what, I'm not sure from my philosophy standpoint what all you might be changing if you're Scecina. You kind of are what you are in terms of throwing the football. They attempted just 4 runs in the first half and had -1 yards rushing, did the Crusaders.
I'll tell you, with that said, I would have let Middlebrook. He came close a couple times, really was tripped up by his own feet or by a lineman stepping the wrong way. But I would go back and run the ball a little bit. I really would. Because that's really what Monrovia is telling you to do. They're spreading out with 2 safeties. They're covering 3-on-2 a bunch with, they're really leaving a lot of space there for these linebackers to try to stop the run.
They're defending, really 7 are defending the pass at this point for Monrovia. They'll line up with an extra back in the backfield and hand off to Middlebrook, and Middlebrook gets to the line of scrimmage and no more. It is Foster Knight that was there to make the play. We've talked about him as a running back. Looks good as a linebacker too, 2nd down.
Runs well, comes downhill. I like the way that Foster beats the offensive lineman to the ball. And again, when you can anticipate and get in the hole before the lineman can get to you, good things happen to you if you're a Bulldog.
Because Monrovia has traditionally had a very good wrestling program, they've long been good in the weight room. Brancho just absolutely owned that spot in the middle of the field as well for Monrovia.
Great job again with playing with their hands and great leverage.
So Ayers looks to throw. Quick hitter, Hillman. Nice job of making that catch as he was turning upfield, and that's a 1st down for Scecina.
Great timing by both Hillman and by Ayers. And again, I just like watching here. 1, 2, 3, balls out. Very little you can do as a defender when things come out on time.
Now, a flag was thrown at the end of the play. I think they're going to get this against the receiver. Or no, it's going to be a call against Scecina. Kind of signaled for a sideline warning, but that's not right. But I think it's going to be for the way that the receiver directed the football back at the official. But again, they're treating this as a warning, and they're not marking off any sort of yardage on the play.
Yeah, he looked down and said something to the Monrovia receiver as he was tossing the ball back. I thought about that. I thought that was kind of odd. Actually, I thought at first he threw the ball at the defender, which then would have definitely been a flag. Great job by the officials there of just warning.
Mix up on the handoff. Ayers thought Middlebrook was going to be on the other side of him. With that, it allowed the timing of the play to get discombobulated, and the rushing struggles continue for Scecina.
Again, those things happen. There's been a high snap most of the game, so it's kind of thrown off the timing of it. But that case there, they were not on the same page, being Middlebrook and Ayers.
Dustin Henderson with the tackle for Monrovia. Right now, Scecina in negative yards in terms of rushing the football in tonight's game. Ayers on the slant. Catch is made. Good job of making a tackler to miss. That is Andrew Payne with his first catch of the night. And he gets back some yards on 2nd down to set up a much more manageable 3rd down and call it 5.
They ran what we call a drive route, which is about a 5-yard square in. I like it because you're on the run. Kind of made famous by Peyton Manning and the Colts.
5 different Scecina receivers have caught a pass in tonight's game. So 3rd down, line to gain is the 42 of Monrovia. 4-man rush for the Bulldogs. Pump and go for Ayers. Throws the deep ball. It's dropped. McCormick Messer. And again, you got to think on a dry night, he makes that catch.
I'll tell you what, Messer did an incredible job there. If we see the replay, he was looking over his right shoulder and then had to adjust and looked over his left shoulder enough to where he just wasn't able to make the catch. Great throw by Ayers of throwing him away from the defender. But if you can see here, again, Messer's looking over his right shoulder, then has to flip back. Again, hits him right in the breadbasket. You've got to make that catch.
They're going to run a fake punt again. Ayers looking to throw. Now he's going to look to run, and Ayers will have the 1st down. Ayers to the 30-yard line, and the 2 biggest plays from scrimmage tonight have come from punt formation for Scecina.
I tell you what, again, you almost, if you're Monrovia from this point on, you want to play a safe defense on the punt. Again, I'm not quite sure what Ayers was doing, but once he got outside of the contain, he darn near scored.
So a 17-yard pickup for Ayers, and not normally a guy that's going to be a running quarterback. So after a 33-yard completion of a punt formation last half, a 17-yard scramble on a punt formation this time. Handoff, and that's Middlebrook, and that is his best carry of the game. And just like in the first half, the fake punt sparks something in this Scecina offense.
Well, what I like, again, even though Scecina's not run the ball real well, you can't just give up on it. You can't be one-dimensional in this bad weather and expect to come out on top. Great job by Middlebrook. Really good job up front by the offensive line.
And now a lengthy drive on Scecina's part as they have had the football now for the first 3 minutes and 20 seconds of the half. Maybe a free play here at 2nd down and 2. Middlebrook gets it. He'll get a yard. He won't get the first down. He'll be steered back shy of the first down marker.
With the way the weather is now, is 3rd and short. I would look for probably 2 more runs, and I would say that we're definitely in 4-down territory. Nice job up front. And again, Monrovia has to make a play with their front 6 because there is no back end because the safeties are over the top playing pass.
Simply needs to get to the nose of the football 1 more yard. The 20-yard line to get a new set of downs for Scecina. Base defense remains the same for Monrovia. Ayers will look to throw. Catch is made. That's Baker, and Baker will be knocked to the turf by Foster Knight. But he'll take the lick and pick up 6 yards and move the chains for Scecina.
Great job by Ayers. Thought he actually might get called for a procedure. You can't jerk your body the way he did there, but Baker does a nice job of coming down with it and then takes a really big hit right at the end of the play there by our guy Foster.
Over 100 yards passing for Ayers. 3rd catch by Baker tonight. First down Crusaders now at the Monrovia 15-yard line. Looking for the end zone. Looking for Baker. And just let him a bit too far. And one thing you notice again on the grass and because of the rain, receivers are a little bit slow to get out of those breaks tonight. There was a flag at the end of the play. It's a personal foul against Scecina.
Well, I tell you what, and with the way that Scecina's been moving the football here, they did not need to go back on this penalty here. You've got to keep your composure in big games like this where you're playing for a championship. If you want to win, you've got to keep your composure.
Scecina knows they will have a piece of the conference championship. They're playing tonight for the undisputed status in the ICC. Personal foul against Scecina. That is just the 2nd penalty of the night against the Crusaders, but it's at an ill-advised time. And now a timeout is taken by Scecina. Let's thank our friends at Manly's Irish Mutt. Before the games, after the games, and in between the games during the week, you're always welcomed on the east side at Manly's Irish Mutt for good times and a full menu of great food located at 10th and Shadeland. Reminding you that everyone has a little Irish in them. Please note, you must be 21.
Well, I tell you what, I'll be anxious. An interesting timeout by Odd Hurley. I think he wanted to grab his kid's attention. Again, he's coaching for right now, but he's actually coaching for in the tournament because, again, you cannot win against good people if you're going to beat yourselves, and right now that's what Scecina's doing.
As the rains continue to fall here at Monrovia. This field is holding up in pretty good shape. Well, again, from a weather standpoint on Friday nights, it's been warm, but hasn't been a lot of rain to tear up the remaining grass fields that we have around this area. And those seemingly get more numbered by the year. Over 90 high schools now with turf across the state of Indiana. And that is a false start because the H-back lurched forward. And even more penalty yards against Scecina. That goes against Matthew Funk.
Well, I tell you what, again, Scecina's done a nice job on this opening drive here. And the best thing they've done is let Monrovia's offense stay on the sideline as well. And so this could be a really quick quarter as the first half went here. But if you're Scecina and you're out early, you can't be happy because, again, Monrovia's not stopping you. You're stopping yourself.
2nd and 30, and so of note, that penalty happened at the end of the play. So it was a dead ball foul, so the down counted. 2nd and a ways. Ayers, screen, and overthrows Middlebrook. Pressure applied by Henderson for Monrovia. And as far as the guys up front are concerned, we kind of keep calling the same names over again. Brancho, Henderson, those guys have been really good for Monrovia in that front four tonight.
Well, I tell you what, they've done a nice job of allowing the secondary or back end to be able to play pass because they really, that front has neutralized the running game of Scecina.
Brancho, one of the more sizable defenders, and really even offensive linemen that we see getting regular minutes for Monrovia tonight. 3rd and 30. Ayers throws out in the flat looking for Funk and can't get it. So now do you go from having the ball inside the 20 to thinking about actually punting the ball here on 4th and 30?
As things go here, I would be surprised if Scecina punts the ball. But again, it's one of those things where they are is probably the best choice would be to try to pin them inside the 10-yard line. But I'd say they're probably going to go for it.
So a 5-minute drive to start the half for Scecina. But as the rain continues to fall, and again, Ayers is their punter. He can quick kick it here if he'd like to, but he's just going to try to throw it deep and see what happens. Looking for a jump ball in the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown. And that's why you throw the ball when you've got a guy like Baker. Now, a flag came down, and are they going to call him maybe for offensive pass interference here? Or will this go against the defense? And if that's the case, the touchdown will stand. Let's wait and see what the flag is all about. It is defensive pass interference. Scecina will wave that off. Touchdown, Crusaders, and an extra point can tie the game.
Great job by Ayers of giving Baker a chance to go get the ball here. Again, the defender's back is turned. He can't see where the ball is. Baker can do everything he can to work his way back. Great job by Ayers of just giving Baker a chance to catch the ball. In these conditions, I can't tell you how hard a throw and catch that is. Great job by both of those two fine players.
For Baker, it is his 6th touchdown catch of the season. His 4th catch of the night. So 57 yards receiving for Baker tonight. And I think there's some conversation as to how you're going to mark off now the penalty. And they'll mark it off on the kickoff. And with that, Drew Smith will come on for the extra point, looking to tie the game. And the kick is good. So Scecina has answered as they open the second half with a touchdown drive that takes 5 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock. They'll be through the third quarter. It's Scecina 14, Monrovia 14. And we're back after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Bellarmine is my home away from home. I feel like I have a family there.
That connectedness kind of pushes everyone as a collective group to be something more.
Everybody looks excited to go to class, and professors even stop in the quad to talk to you, and that's something that you don't find everywhere.
I know that Bellarmine really cares about whether or not their students can afford the university, and they go out of their way to make sure they can afford the university.
I don't think I would be who I am today without Bellarmine University.
This isn't just any Hubler. I'm Greg Hubler, and I'm always here to help. You ask, why does that matter? Well, I'm here to ensure you get the best experience and the best possible price. And don't forget, every new Chevy comes back by the Greg Hubler Promise. That's 3 years of scheduled maintenance included with every new vehicle purchase. This isn't just any Hubler.
It's Greg Hubler Chevy.
Let me show you why we're different than any other dealer.
So ball at the 45-yard line. Now the question is it the automatic onside kick? And the answer is no. They will kick it deep. Monrovia will field inside the 5-yard line, and for a second time tonight, Scecina will pin Monrovia inside the 20-yard line as Damian Williams returns that ball for the Bulldogs. Starting drive of this game, Monrovia start at their own 12-yard line. This time the Bulldogs will start at their own 15. It's got an interesting call there because a lot of times in high school football, when the kickoff comes from the other team's 45, it's almost an automatic call. Go for the onside kick.
Well, you don't have a lot to lose, but I like the idea of trying to pin them inside the 20
I do too.
there.
Yep.
I do like it, especially with the way the night's going. But I agree, that's normally an onside kick.
So Monrovia's offense will touch the football for the first time in this half. Handoff goes to Butts up the middle. And he'll get a couple of three before being turned backwards. We saw him get a breather late in the half, but with that is his 16th carry of the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, since Scecina went to a 5-man front, they've at least slowed down Butts and Foster a little bit. So, but the problem is they've given more running room for Whitney, and that's, again, not necessarily conducive to Scecina winning.
Monrovia comes in at 5-3 on the season. Butts the handoff, and he will lose yardage for the first time tonight. And again, the name that we have called more than anybody else on defense for Scecina is Elijah Phillips at 5'9" and 185 pounds.
Elijah Phillips is just doing a great job of getting to the point where the offensive lineman wants to be. He's slanting left and right, really causing a lot of issues for the Bulldogs up front.
Whoever's doing laundry for these teams is going to earn their money over the course of the weekend as the mud's starting to pile up. So 3rd down and 9 for Monrovia. Handoff goes to Padgett. Padgett makes the first man miss, but will not get the first down. He did to the 25-yard line and picked up 6 or 7, but needed a couple more.
Wouldn't be surprised here to see Monrovia go for it. I know it's 4th down, but again, I think Kevin Hutchins might be opting to go for it.
They brought in their kicker, who is Smith, but he lines up as a wide receiver. So 4th and 2. Monrovia will go for it at their own 23-yard line. Handoff, Whitney, first down. And when you've got that level of confidence in that guy to pick up 3-4 yards every time he touches it, you can go for it, even in territory that Frank Reich wouldn't go for it.
Well, I tell you what, the biggest issue there is just trying to get the ball from Wagner to Whitney. Because, again, Wagner has to be on a dead sprint, and I mean a dead sprint. If anything happens there with the snap, a lot to lose. I don't second-guess Coach Hutchins, but, boy, there was a lot to lose there.
So Whitney, with his first touch of the half, comes on 4th and 2 at his own 23-yard line. And Monrovia converts for their 14th first down of the night. And every time they get a first down, just take 2 minutes off the clock.
And again, the best thing that they've done is keep Scecina off of the field, their offense.
That ball might be loose. Scecina thinks they've got it. They do. Scecina's got the football. That time the defense got there right as Wagner was putting the ball in the belly of Cole Butts. They couldn't make the handoff work, and Scecina falls on the football.
Again, just disrupted everything there. Never really got the ball. The mesh point, meaning where the fullback and the quarterback met, was just off. Huge turnover for Monrovia. Great job of being there to make the play on defense were the Crusaders.
First turnover of the game. And guess who falls on it? Phillips for Scecina.
Having a whale of a game, isn't he?
Let's see if Scecina can pounce immediately. Ayers looks to throw. Catch made. That's Funk. Tackle made by Whitney. but a solid gain of 7 yards on first down.
Nice job of Ayers of not trying to take it all back at one time here. Nice job of just taking what the defense gives you here. Had a couple guys open short, didn't try to force it long.
Ayers now 11 of 20, 244 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now 20 touchdowns on the season for the senior QB at Scecina. Errant snap, race to the football. Ayers can't fall on him, but Middlebrook does. Well, obviously conditions starting to be a factor, but now from 2nd and short to 3rd and aways. Then again, Scecina just converted 4th and 30 on their last drive.
That ball came out awfully hot and awfully quick there. But again, they with the arm of Ayers, you're really not that far away here, and they're certainly going to probably go for it, and so it's definitely a 4-down territory.
So from 2nd and 3, it'll now be 3rd and call it 16. So a loss of 13 on the play. And whistles blow before this ball is snapped. And I'm not sure if that was a timeout or simply the officials wanted to discuss something before the play took place.
Looks like they wanted to reset the 40-second clock there.
So no penalty assessed, no timeout given. We'll allow for a personnel change for Scecina as Woods will come in replacing Middlebrook. But now the clock will wind as we approach 3 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Ayers scrambling out of the pocket. Looks to throw, it's intercepted. And the catch is made by Maxwell. Nope, he didn't make it. Said his foot was out of bounds. Tell you what, Maxwell nearly made his 2nd great grab of the night. 1 on offense and 1 on defense. Just couldn't get a foot down in time. Nonetheless, he did his job. He broke up the play that would have been a 1st down for Scecina.
Great job of moving by Ayers and buying times. Maxwell, though, just does a fantastic job of breaking on the ball, almost causing the turnover.
By the way, great job by that official. Our replay had it. You could tell his right foot came down first and was out of bounds. Well done by our camera crew and well done by the official on the far sideline. So if you're going forward on 4th and 30, you're in for 4th and 16 as well. And the target's likely the same. Ayers looks down the middle of the field. Catch is made, and that'll be a touchdown. How about that? Scecina with back-to-back touchdowns in the quarter on 4th and 30 and 4th and 16, and the Crusaders are in front for the first time tonight.
Great poise, great job of delivery in a just adverse situation by Ayers. Great job by Hillman of making the catch and keeping his feet going after contact and then scoring the ball. Fantastic answer to start this 2nd half by the Crusaders.
Hillman's 2nd touchdown grab of the evening. Ayers' 3rd touchdown pass of the game. And Scecina placed him in front for the first time with 2:39 left to go before the 4th quarter. And the extra point try is good to make it 21-14 in favor of Scecina. Tonight's game presented in part by Bellarmine University. An excellent college education is affordable at Bellarmine University in Louisville, the premier independent Catholic university in the South. Bellarmine University, explore the world and start within. Every sport is a game of inches. You saw a brief look at Jaron Maxwell. He was about 2 inches away from having an interception that would have ended the drive. You come back the other direction, and Scecina answers on 4th down yet again.
I tell you what, great job again of just of making a play. And I think that's a thing right now that I've been impressed with Scecina is making a play and overcoming penalties of their own. Now, again, I want to see the poise of Monrovia. Can they come back and answer for what Scecina's done on their adjustment of taking away Butts, the fullback?
Scecina, as we talked about, is playing for an undefeated ICC championship. Short kick by Smith. Ball is bobbled, and did Scecina pick it up again? It looks like they did. Ball was fumbled by Monrovia, and this thing is unraveling for the Bulldogs. They have played so well in the first half, yet they've barely had the football in half number 2, and Scecina will get a short field for a second consecutive possession as Middlebrook falls on it.
Well, great job again of covering here by Scecina. Anytime you have the first digit being a 5 or a 6, you don't necessarily want him handling the ball. Great coaching, great adjustment by Scecina there. But again, big challenge here for this Monrovia defense. We'll see if they're up for it.
Baker to the bottom side of the screen. Ayers looking that way for the end zone. Baker's got it, touchdown. And just like that, it is a 2-score game. Scecina now has scored 3 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes and 28 seconds.
I tell you what, nice job again. Ayers, I cannot tell you again in this weather what a great throw that is. Great catch by Baker. It's one-on-one. Baker, again, I love the chemistry of these two players. I love the idea of what's going on. You know, Coach Hurley has just gone after the back end of the Monrovia defense, and they're having a lot of success.
Let's officially call that from 24 yards out. So Baker and Hillman both now with 2 touchdown grabs this evening. That puts Ayers at 200 yards passing, and the kick is good yet again. We talked about this game might go by in a blink because of how Monrovia runs the football. Well, if you blinked, you missed back-to-back scores by Scecina on successive offensive snaps.
Well, I tell you what, we talk about limiting big plays. That's exactly what Monrovia did in the first half, and they're not doing here in the second half. Ayers has really had his way, and as you talked about earlier, 2 of the 3 big plays have come on 4th down. So they've done a great job, but they've got to get Scecina off the field on 4th down. And thanks to Ayers here, again, a 4th and 30. And again, look at this great play by he and Baker in that torrential downpour. Unbelievable. And then 4th and 16, they do it again.
Baker now 49 catches on the year. Touchdown 6 and 7. This portion of today's game presented by Indiana Wesleyan University. The world is waiting for you to make a difference in a way that only you can. Indiana Wesleyan can help you discover, clarify, or develop your calling. Schedule a visit today at discoveriwU.com. Drew Smith for the kick. It is another short kick. And it's the same lineman in Englert that will field it. And this time, puts in the breadbasket, wraps both arms around it. And Monrovia will start this drive at their own 30-yard line. And if you're Monrovia, you're not going to change what you do offensively. You're going to come out and run the football. But time does start to become a factor now that it's a 2-score deficit.
Well, the biggest question is what is Kevin Hutchins going to do with Scecina taking away the fullback? But you're not going to change. This is what Monrovia does. There's more than enough time left in this game, but they've got to put together a good, solid drive.
To show you how good this league is, if Monrovia loses this game, they would finish under 500 in the ICC. And look how well they have played tonight. Wow. Their losses to Beech Grove, Lutheran, and Triton Central elsewhere in the league. Second man through is Paget. Paget makes 1 defender miss and makes 4 guys bring him down. And then a flag is going to be thrown at the end of the play, I think for unnecessary roughness against Scecina. So give Paget 4 or 5 yards, but a likely penalty will tack on some more yardage.
As a player, you've got to understand where the officials are right now. You're looking at the last kickoff. They got a little chippy, so a good crew is going to make sure that this stops. The whistle blows. You have to stop going, and Scecina doesn't. Again, 4 progress to stop. What they don't like is the fact they picked him up and tried to make a pretzel out of his legs.
I'm not sure if that's officially listed in the rule book, but it is generally frowned upon. You can enjoy a pretzel at the game. You can't turn an opposing player into a pretzel. That's right out.
Well, I tell you what, I just think, again, with where we are, I think the officials want to maintain control of the game. Great job on their part.
So that'll move the ball to midfield and give Monrovia their 15th first down of the night, but just their second of the half. Wagner was looking to throw, however, a false start was called against Monrovia, and that will be their fourth penalty of the night and sets up first down and 15.
Again, I don't think you're going to change much of what Scecina is going to do. They're going to play bump coverage against that lone wide receiver, meaning they're going to walk up in his face, and they're going to play 10 guys against the run.
I want to say hello to my buddy Brian Dew. He is a Scecina alum. He is watching the game on the ISC Sports Network this evening. Brian is a postal carrier. Buddy, this is your type of weather. I'm surprised you're not here. Rain, sleet, snow. We've seen them all, I think, at some point today. But thanks for tuning us in on ISCSportsNetwork.com. Handoff goes to Whitney, second man through. And one other thing you are seeing is you are seeing many more Scecina jerseys in the backfield. We barely saw that at all in the first half.
Well, again, what I like about this is the adjustment by the players and the staff of Scecina. They've seen the offense now for a good half. They have an idea of what's going to happen. And now, again, here come the counters off of what the base plays are for Kevin Hutchins and this Bulldog team.
So 2nd and 13 now coming up for Monrovia as we approach the fourth quarter of this game. Just joining us, Monrovia led at halftime 14-7. Scecina scored on the opening drive of the quarter. Paget on the counter play. They'll get back to the start of this series on first down before the penalty. Paget now 6 carries for 23 yards, and it sets up 3rd down and 10.
Well, again, it's an interesting situation here if you're Kevin Hutchins, because you're at midfield. Is this a place where you're going to want to go for it on 4th down if needed? But again, in this case here, I'm going to figure out a way to put the ball in Whitney's hands, may go back to the I formation, but I'm going to do something to get the ball in my players, or in my best player's hands.
Scecina scored on their opening drive. Monrovia fumbled on their neck. Scecina scored quickly. Then Monrovia fumbled the ensuing kickoff, and Scecina scored on the very first play afterward. That's how we have gotten to 28-14 here in the third quarter. Wagner looks to throw. Pressure being applied. Going to tuck it and run. Wagner, great effort. It looked like Scecina was going to get him for a minimal gain, and Wagner able to hustle and keep going and picks up 9 yards. He'll be shy of the first down, but obviously now 4th and 1. You'll go for it here if you're Monrovia, but you can wait until the start of the quarter to make the play. So the quarterback will pick up 9 yards on the scramble on what will be our final play of the third quarter. But going to the fourth quarter, the Crusaders of Scecina are 1 quarter away from getting through ICC play at 7-0. Our score, Scecina 28, Monrovia 14. And we're back after this on the ISC Sports Network.
At Marian University, we will challenge you because you want to change our world. But understand, you're not in this alone. There will be mentors preparing you to lead, people of faith, and professors with real-world experience, ensuring that you're prepared for your career. When you leave Marian, you'll be ready when life asks the question, what are you made of?
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
The final quarter of the regular season here at Monrovia High School. It's brought to you in part by the NCAA Hall of Champions. Enjoy football Saturdays at the NCAA Hall of Champions. The game's on and popcorn is just 50 cents. Wear your favorite collegiate gear the first Saturday of the month through January and receive discounted admission. Plan your visit at ncaaHallofchampions.org. Alongside Lance Scheib, Greg Rakestraw with you. 4th and a yard from Monrovia, trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Look for that quick off-tackle play. Yep, here we go.
It's Whitney, and he didn't get much, but he has the first down. Needed to cross the 41 and did that. That's the best that Scecina has done to slow it down.
Yep.
But it was still enough to move the chains for Monrovia.
Thought Scecina might try to blitz right into that C or D gap or bring somebody down to try to take that play away. But again, nice job of execution by Monrovia.
Linder with the play. But again, the rush yards a lot harder to come by for Monrovia in quarters 3 and 4. Monrovia had 172 yards rushing in the first half. Really only picked up maybe 20 to 25 in the third quarter. Handoff goes to Paget. Paget picks up 4 or 5, and good second effort by Paget, sophomore running back.
And right now, again, Monrovia can keep doing what they want to do just because of the fact they still have enough time left. Okay, they probably need to get the ball into the end zone with probably 8 minutes to go to give them some chance to get the ball back and score again.
Monrovia has completed 1 pass tonight. It came late in the second quarter, and it set up a touchdown by Whitney a couple of plays later. Butts, and again, there's just a lot more traffic in front of him now than there was in the first half. He had 10 carries on the opening drive of the game. He's now had 18 for the game, and in his last 8 carries, he's picked up just 18 yards.
I want to tell you what, when Scecina went to that 5-man front, that extra defender that's really slowed down Butts and really the Monrovia offense in general. And so, again, I'm thinking Whitney, I'm thinking players on this big third down play.
Need to get to the 30-yard line or just shy of it. Blitz coming. Wagner going to look to throw. Throws out in the flat, catch is made, flag is thrown. It is a first down. Paget on the grab, and then another flag is thrown after the play in the backfield. So we're going to have 2 separate flags on the play. Let's see exactly what this is about. Lance, what'd you see?
I think there's 3 flags. I think you've got pass interference because I think the receiver's blocking downfield. I think you have a late hit by Scecina on the quarterback, and then I think you have somebody talking for Scecina in general for an unsportsmanlike. So I think you got 3 separate penalties here. This is huge.
Never good when 60% of the officials on the field throw a flag on the same play. Nobody lost their hat on a cold night, so it wasn't 2 flags thrown by the same person. But you are correct. There are 3, and there's a good look at it. You see the 2 flags down the field. There's one that's sitting back just outside of your screen. Now you'll see it at the 45-yard line.
So you're going to see the officials mark off one, probably mark off 2 separate ones, because I think at least one of them is a dead ball or after the play's over with. Actually, I think 2 of the 3 happened after the play was actually over. So 2 dead balls will be, again, could offset. But I have a feeling the receiver was blocking downfield, or there might have been offensive pass interference.
And literally they're talking about how to adjudicate those and how to mark them off right now is what our crew is doing. And our officiating crew tonight, Rex Blanton, Garrett Hedin, Kevin Lewis, Rick Ross, and Thomas Roeder. Rex Blanton is our referee. Kevin Lewis is the side judge who also works a lot of basketball games here in Central Indiana. So I kind of travel the road with Kevin seemingly during the basketball season.
And you've got a chance here. It looked like Kevin was saying holding. If that's the case, all 3 may go against Scecina, and 2 of them are dead balls. So you get to enforce all of them here. I'll be anxious to see when this all is said and done.
So we apologize. This has taken a while, but very infrequently do you have 3 flags on one play. And oftentimes the officials will see the same thing in both of the flags simultaneously, but this is on 3 separate infractions.
you're seeing the officials saying that we're going to go one way and then the other, so that tells me it might be offsetting a little bit here, or they have to mark off both. But I'll be anxious to see what happens.
And this might require some lip reading here. Hold down the field. That was the live ball penalty. Personal foul roughing the passer, and that is against Scecina. Now let's see if there's a third penalty. There's an unsportsmanlike conduct.
He might have been ejected.
So I believe all three flags, it appears, were against Scecina. And now I know there is at least one of the officials that is over talking to the Scecina coaching staff.
What I'm trying to figure out, I thought the official signaled ejection.
Right.
Well, and I understand that, but I didn't. I think that would have came from language, because there was no, there was nothing hitting, nothing wise for that here. But that's the way it looked like it. The official said that, so I think Ott's wanting to know what's going on here.
So Ott Hurley is asking for an explanation. Right now the ball is at the 11-yard line.
We have another flag on the Scecina sideline. I'm assuming that something was said that the officials did not feel like was appropriate.
And so even more yardage will get marked off here. Now the question is, was that on a player or a coach? Delay a game.
Looks like that was a warning, or I think that might have been a warning.
Right.
More than anything else, but needless to say,
so that will be another 5 yards, and now it is 1st and goal Monrovia, as the ball went from the 33-yard line of Scecina to their 6. Handoff goes to Whitney, and Whitney gets a yard.
Great job again by Scecina. Now, again, I felt like that Monrovia had to score with 8 minutes to go, really, to give them a chance to make a stop and run their offense the way it is, and they're on pace to do that. Didn't feel like it was going to be through penalties, but again, now you got to regroup as a staff and as a team, and now if you're Monrovia, you've got to capitalize.
So 2nd and goal now at the 5-yard line. Back to the I formation. Whitney, flag is thrown. That looks like it's going to be a hold against Monrovia. Whitney eventually will be stopped at about the 2 or 3 yard line. But the whistles will blow because this will be a hold against the Bulldogs.
Looked like either a hold or another chop block. And again, they're just, the Monrovia offensive linemen are not in rhythm or not in sync, and so
it's a chop block.
When that happens, you just can't have two people, high-low in somebody. And so again, that's what they normally have. One guy gets there early; he's not supposed to necessarily block him. He makes contact, and then the player's cut.
And again, that is a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
And it goes from the spot of the fouls. That is now 5 penalties for 50 yards against the Bulldogs.
And what a big one, because again, we saw Scecina overcome big penalties, but they're made to be able to do that. Monrovia is not made to overcome these 15-yard penalties.
So 2nd and goal. 1st and goal, excuse me. Toss goes to Whitney, and he'll get a couple. Even Whitney's not exactly breaking those big yards off in chunks the way he was earlier in the contest.
Huge third down play now for Monrovia here, but great job again. I like the adjustment by Kevin Hutchins, but didn't get the outside man kicked out. Thus, he could contain Whitney, which gave Scecina a chance to run to the football.
So 3rd down, just inside the 20-yard line. Monrovia looks to throw the football, looking for the end zone, and there's a flag. Defensive back got tied up with the receiver in Jacob Smith. And now it's going to be a much more manageable down and distance for Monrovia inside of the 10-yard line.
Great job, again, by Wagner of giving his receiver a chance here. Again, you've got to give the receiver a chance to get the ball. There was, I thought their legs got kind of tangled up more than there was pass interference. But again, we're up here in the box. You can't impede the route or the path of the receiver.
Now, again, it is not an automatic first down in high school football on a pass interference call. So it is now going to be 3rd and goal at the 5-yard line after 15 more yards in penalties are assessed against Scecina. All of a sudden, Scecina has gone from 4 penalties on the night to 9 in this drive.
Kind of lost your composure a little bit. That's something that Coach Hurley will talk to his team about and coaches about as they move forward, especially if they're able to get out of this game with a win.
One thing penalties have done is kind of slowed down the pace of this game. Game is still moving faster than most because of the way that Monrovia runs the football. 3rd and goal. Handoff goes to Whitney. Whitney on a sprint draw heading towards the end zone, and he won't get there. He'll get a yard or 2. And obviously down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. Monrovia's going to go for it. And they've got a lineman that is slow to get up. I think that is Englert. Looks like he will stay in the game. 4th and goal.
Again, I would look for that quick hitter, that off-tackle play by Monrovia. Great job, again, of blocking downfield by the Bulldogs here. Nice job by Whitney of just following that caravan.
Luke Leffler, the player that made the tackle for Scecina.
I noticed a Leffler name on there. Anybody that follows Scecina football knows the great coach Kenny Leffler. He used to be at Scecina and really did some wonderful things during his time.
Casey Leffler currently on the staff for Odd Hurley. The vast majority of his assistant coaches, all Scecina graduates. In fact, all but 2.
Again, if I'm Scecina, I'm going to pinch from the right side to the left. I'm going to make Whitney go outside.
Toss, Whitney. Whitney trying to bounce. Able to avoid a tackler. Pylon inside of it, touchdown. Well, Monrovia answers. Scecina's got a couple of 4th down conversion touchdowns. Monrovia has the same. And they're an extra point away from being down by 7 with less than 8 minutes to play.
Great call by Coach Hutchins. He felt the same thing I did, and that was they were going to come inside. Just a super play by Whitney. Great job of Scecina trying to string it out. But again, give Clay a lot of credit here. He's able to bounce it outside, has enough speed and athleticism to outrun the Scecina defense.
So Whitney gets his 2nd touchdown run of the night. And the extra point is good with 7:53 left to go. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Styrian. The historic Styrian Diner is Indianapolis' #1 East Side tradition since 1960. The Styrian offers carry-out, delivery, and catering. They're located at 5130 East 10th Street. Uber Eats delivers during restaurant hours. Delivery downtown, Fountain Square, and more is now available. Go Crusaders.
What an answer by Monrovia. It was a little bit of pass, a little bit of run. I love the adjustments and little penalties. But again, the biggest thing was, again, thanking Clay Whitney for the Bulldogs as they got close to the end zone. Nice answer. Now, what's Scecina do? From the standpoint, are they going to try to run the clock a little bit, or are they going to keep doing what they do?
The kickoff so far for Smith, he has generally kind of just topped those balls down the field. But as is the case with most every game in this league, none of them are easy. This one has a little more air to it, but it goes directly out of bounds. 2nd kickoff from Monrovia this half that has gone out of bounds, and so Scecina will start this drive at their home 35-yard line.
Yeah, I know they're trying to keep the ball away from the back line of Scecina. but you just can't give them the 35-yard line, again, with no return there. But it is what it is. Now look for Scecina to come out and run some clock and run their offense.
Score update from North Central. North Central leads Ben Davis 24-20. That's a game that we'll have for you on the ISC Sports Network later this week. Lafayette Jeff is on their way to 7-0 in the North Central Conference and 8-1 on the season as they are leading Indianapolis Tech 46-0 with 11:22 left to go. By the way, Romeo Elliott for Warren Central now over 430 yards rushing in tonight's game for Warren. Toss play to Middlebrook, and Middlebrook, good extra effort. We'll get a couple of more yards out of it. And eventually taken down after a 3-yard pickup.
Tell you what, nice job of adjustment by Monrovia, walking the linebackers out. I like that because, again, at this point, Scecina's going to do what they do. Middlebrook really didn't have a lot of room to run there, especially as Monrovia is flying to the football and Hunter Ray getting there to cause it to go back inside.
13 yards rushing tonight for Scecina. That's it.
I'll tell you what, as they have to play Western Boone or Tipton in the tournament, I think that's going to have to improve.
Ayers, quick hitter, catch made. That's Funk first down the sidelines, and ball knocked free, but it goes directly out of bounds. The Scecina will retain possession after a pickup of 22 yards.
What I love by Ayers, Greg, is his poise has been phenomenal. Watch him here. Doesn't panic, goes for his first and second read, gets all the way back to his third read. Okay, I love the idea. Again, great job by Funk then of taking the ball and getting north-south quickly.
Ayers now has completed 5 of his last 6 passes. 3 of those went for touchdowns. Middlebrook finds some room to run, one of his better carries of the night. And he picks up 8 yards on first down.
Monrovia is giving Scecina the run. They are playing a light box, meaning there was only 5 or maybe 5.5 men in there. Everybody else is playing pass. And again, I give Scecina credit. They've really struggled all game to run the ball, but they're not giving up on it.
Middlebrook came in over 600 yards rushing on the season with 8 touchdowns. And flags fly. False start's going to be called against Scecina. Their 10th penalty of the game.
I have to laugh there. I look at Baker, the wide receiver. He comes back to the line of scrimmage holding his hand up like I did it.
Yep.
But take ownership of it in the actual mistake. But again, Scecina wants that clock to keep running.
I noticed the same thing you do too. The Ayers kind of flinches at times in that shotgun, and you're not supposed to be able to do that.
You really can't move your body.
Right. He kind of wiggled on that play too. 2nd down and 7. Take the handoff. Ayers gonna tuck it and run. And Ayers has the first down, but flag is thrown. Monrovia player on the turf behind the play. And that has all the earmarks of a holding call against Scecina.
And I really think it was more of the Scecina player not letting the Monrovia player off the ground because the ball was 15 yards past. Yeah, okay.
No, face mask against Monrovia.
Okay, because it was kind of an odd place for there to be a flag just because it was so far behind the play.
That'll be 15 yards plus the gain that Ayers had on the carry. We give Ayers 8 yards. And then tack on half the distance to the goal from that point, and all of a sudden Scecina now has the ball inside the Monrovia red zone, looking to make it a 2-score lead again with less than 6 minutes to play.
Again, great job by Ayers of keeping his poise and moving around, going north-south. Just tuck the ball away, son.
And you could see on that replay that the defensive lineman, as he was trying to spin away from the offensive lineman Monrovia, inadvertently, I think, kind of grabbed a hold of the face mask and sets up Scecina in an even better position.
You couldn't have drawn up any better if you're out Hurley just because the clock is running and you're moving the ball.
Crusaders look for their 4th touchdown of the half. Middlebrook lowers the shoulder. It'll be just shy of a first down, and then there is another series of penalties that go flying at the end of the play. Well, the running game is suddenly sparking for Scecina, but an issue on both sides has been late penalty flags. These two now meeting in conference play for a fifth year. Fifth year that Monrovia has been part of the Indiana Crossroads Conference, and personal foul being called against Scecina.
You got to keep your composure. If there's one thing that Coach Hurley is going to be disappointed with right now, is just that. Again, you've got a chance to finish this game out. You got the ball inside the 10-yard line, and now you're going to commit a dead ball personal foul.
And again, that's 15 yards going the opposite direction. The down does count. It's going to be second down. But now 80 yards in penalties against the Crusaders in this game.
I mean, there's just no need for it. I mean, the push, what's that going to do? It does nothing for you.
Ayers in the pistol. Hands it off. That's Woods. Woods makes a defender miss, and Woods will score. And as has been the case in this entire second half for Scecina, when they have made things more difficult for themselves, they go ahead and reach the end zone anyway. They have now scored on 4th and 30, 4th and 16, and 2nd down and 16 to make it a 2-score lead yet again.
Well, give Scecina credit. There's a reason why they've had the year they've had. There's a reason why they've got a chance with a win tonight to win the conference. Again, there's just a few things that they've got to clean up if they really want to make a run into this tournament.
First rushing touchdown of the evening for Scecina. For Woods, it is his 4th touchdown of the year. High snap on the extra point, but the kick is up, and it's good, and it's back to a 2-score lead, which the way that Monrovia wants to run the football, that 2-score lead is crucial. 28 points in the second half for Todd Hurley's Crusaders.
Well, I tell you what, they've answered the call here, Greg, and I'm just impressed with which is how they came out at halftime, and everything that they've done has just been really impressive. And great cut here. I love the idea of just a quick jump cut on the wet field, and again, great job of scoring the ball.
Tonight's game presented in part by Marian at University. Marian looking for future leaders who want to make the world a better place for all of us. Find out what you're made of at Marian at University. Visit at marian.edu/visit. Of course, we're your home for Marian University football as well. Marian on the road at Taylor tomorrow. The Knights are up to number 2 in the nation in the NAIA national polls. They've got a massive game coming up next week with Concordia of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Concordia went and beat St. Francis after Marian had beaten them 2 weeks ago. So Concordia ranked number 11 in the country. We'll have that one for you next Saturday at 1 o'clock on the ISC Sports Network. Pop-up kick. Englert will field. Englert with a head of steam. He fumbled one. He's recovered the last 2. He'll take this one back to about the 36-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, talking about a couple things there. One, Marian, just impressive. Saw them early in the year. They just feel like, it seems like to me they're on a mission. They're getting better and better each week, and so anxious to see how things go for them as they end the regular season. And as far as this game here, great field position for Monrovia, but now they're forced to do something they don't really want to do, and that's throw the ball.
By the way, another final score from the ICC. Triton Central beats Speedway 49-9. The Triton Central finishes the year 8-1 and 6-1 in league play. Handoff goes to Whitney, second man through. It is a 4-yard pickup on first down. Whitney now 21 carries, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
And Whitney comes off the field limping there, a little concerned if I'm Kevin Hutchins with that. But again, can't tell if he just tweaked an ankle or what happened to him.
He is heading to the other end of the bench right now is Whitney. And they will play at Brown County. The Eagles just 2-6 on the season. And Danville came out of that sectional last year, made it all the way to the semi-state. It is not the sectional that Chittard is in 3A. They would await in the regional. Wagner drops the snap, but finds Padgett. First down, turns upfield. His second catch of the night, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
Again, I've been impressed with Wagner. And again, I really like the way that Padgett's playing as well, especially for a sophomore here. But again, Wagner bobbled the snap, had the composure to be able to gather himself, and then great job of getting the ball out to Padgett where he could run after the catch.
Monrovia had 9 completions the first 7 games of the season. They've got 3 tonight. The last 2 have gone to Padgett. Handoff goes to Padgett on the counter. With Whitney out of the game, he'll be a much more featured part of the offense. Padgett picks up 3 on his 8th carry of the evening. But again, clock is of the essence now as we reach the 4-minute mark left to go in this game.
And the good thing is I looked and I saw Whitney look more like a cramp than anything else, so I would expect him to be back in the game soon.
Scecina will play host to Centerville next week. Triton Central, Milan, Knightstown amongst the other teams that are in the same sectional as Scecina. They are in sectional number 37 in Class 2A. Second man through is Whitney, and Scecina had it covered. 4 or 5 white jerseys. Okay, they're kind of off-white now with the mud. They began the night as white jerseys for the Crusaders, and it's 3rd and long.
Great job of adjusting by the Crusaders there. Again, realizing A, that Whitney is out, and B, knowing that the simple dives are there's just not enough time to keep running that type play. So knowing the second man through, our counter's coming.
The clock rolls past now, 3 minutes left to go in the game. Whitney has returned from Monrovia. You got to score here, you got to be thinking onside kick. But first you got to score. Makes this obvious 4-down territory. Wagner looks to pass. Now Wagner's going to tuck and run because he had no time. He will get out of bounds. He will get some positive yardage. But it'll be 4th down, which has been, frankly, a money down for both teams tonight. But it's 4th and 6 now for the Bulldogs.
I'll be anxious to see what happens here. I'm going to move and get Wagner on the edge. The problem is I'm going to have to take him to the left because the ball's on the right hash here. But I'm going to move Wagner, probably try to get the ball to Padgett in the flat on the run again like they did earlier.
So the line to gain is the 27-yard line. And now a timeout is taken by Scecina. Let's thank our friends at Manly's Irish Mutt. Before the games, after the games, and in between the games during the week, you're always welcome on the east side at Manly's Irish Mutt. For good times and a full menu of great food, located at 10th and Shaylin, reminding you that everyone has a little Irish in them. Please note, you must be over 21 years of age.
Again, I like the timeout by Scecina. Again, realizing that I'm going to think either some kind of trick play, hook and ladder, look for the tight end down the middle, or I'm going to move the pocket. But any of those things are probably in play now for Monrovia.
Final score, West Lafayette finishes their regular season at 9-0. Tipton falls to 8-1. West Lafayette wins 42-0. So in theory, if Scecina wins this game, they'll probably move back up to the number 2 ranking in 2A. Have not seen a Western Boone final score, but the assumption is that Western Boone will win their conference finale this evening in the Sagamore Athletic Conference. Roncalli will get their 3rd win of the year as they beat Guerin Catholic by a score of 20-10. Again, Tom Dilley's team, they have suffered some season-changing injuries over the course of the last few weeks. In other words, some young men that they don't plan on returning at some point in time this year.
Well, Guerin Catholic has had a great year, but they've got the wrong players hurt at the wrong time.
So 4th and 6. Blitz coming. Wagner looking for somebody to throw to, slips, stumbles, and that's that. But a hold looks like might be called down the field against Scecina. There is a flag down, so let's hang on just a second.
Normally when it's thrown that deep and that and where it was, it normally is some kind of hold by the defense. Yep, and that's exactly what it was.
So the defender was beat. You take the hold. You don't want to give up the big play here. So Monrovia will have at least one more chance. What would have been the 2nd sack of the night for Scecina will be wiped away. It'll be a 1st down for the Bulldogs.
Again, like you talked about, they need to score and then onside kick, and to have a chance. A lot has to go right here for Monrovia. But again, I'm not sure where the play is, because of the sack, it's not a first down. It's still fourth down again.
Okay.
It used to be an automatic first down. They've changed that rule, and now it's a possession spot.
So my question would be, though, is that wouldn't you mark that off from what the original line of scrimmage where it was 4th and 6, because the play doesn't count because you wipe away the sack, correct?
I believe you are correct on that, so they should respot it.
Right.
Okay, and I think that's what they're talking about right now. Or not.
Well, they're showing 4th down. In other words, they're marking it from basically saying, okay, the sack, mark off the sack, and then add the 10 yards.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was done correctly, but again, all I know is that we had a holding call, and they marked it off after the play was done.
So it's 4th down. Handoff goes to Padgett. Padgett spun around, won't get there. Across the 30-yard line, marked down at the 28-yard line. He's a couple of yards shy. Again, Monrovia does have 3 timeouts remaining, but now they trail by 2 scores, and Scecina gets the football back. And at this point, if you're Monrovia, you might be just as well off saying, you know what, let's worry about next week and let's get on to the postseason, because you can tell that Whitney's having some issues out there on the field.
Yeah, that play and that ball given to Padgett was more the fact that Whitney is cramping up, and not that Padgett's not the guy that you want to have carrying the ball, but you want to give it to your dude, and their dude is Padgett or is Whitney, but because of the fact he's cramping up, you had to do something else.
Interesting to see if Monrovia uses their timeouts here. Ayers going under center. Just for the second time tonight. Quick hitter. Minimal gain. But again, not seeing any timeouts on the Monrovia sideline. I think they're going to say, you know what, let's focus our energy on the postseason at this point.
Right.
That was Woods that was the ball carrier on the play, who had the touchdown run last time he touched the football. And now if you're Scecina, you want to take as much time off the clock as possible here.
And they will, and that's where, again, the nice thing is with the 40-second clock, everything is consistent. It's not based on when the official wants to mark the ball or not mark it. It is 40 seconds from when the play ends that was just run.
So Ayers now will go back to the shotgun formation. But it will be a handoff again. And Woods will get a couple of 3 yards. And again, a glance at Monrovia sideline, and their response looks to be the same. They will let some more time tick off the clock with now under 90 seconds left to go in this game.
I tell you what, again, for the conditions and everything else that's gone on, very well played game. You talked about this in the pregame, Greg, and that is this conference prepares you. It's a great small conference. Again, there's a reason why these teams have been in the semi-state, win regionals, gets to the state finals, because, again, they play in a league that's very, very talented.
Again, Scecina will simply run the ball. Woods breaks a tackle, and that'll be the first down and the ball game. And he'll stay in bounds as well. Needed to pick up 7 yards. He'll pick up about 13. And now it can be victory formation time here for Scecina. Want to thank these great sponsors that have brought tonight's game to you on the ISC Sports Network. The NCAA Hall of Champions. Plan your visit at ncaachampions.org. By Greg Hubler Chevrolet. At Greg Hubler Chevy, every new vehicle purchase comes with our exclusive Greg Hubler promise. By the Steer Inn, the historic Steer Inn Diner, Indianapolis' #1 East Side tradition since 1960. By Manley's Irish Mutt. Good times and a full menu of great food. By Marian University. Find out what you're made of at marianatuniversity.com. Ayers will take the knee, and there will not need to be another snap by Scecina. Let's also thank Bellarmine University. Explore the world, start within. Indiana Wesleyan University, the world is waiting. Schedule a visit at discoveriw.com today. And by Boqua, grab your Bokes and get wet. The regular season has concluded for each of these two teams. Scecina 8-1, and they go 7-0 in the Indiana Crossroads Conference. Monrovia finishes their season at 5-4, 3-4 in the ICC. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with our E-Shield Security postgame show. Scecina wins it on the ISC Sports Network.
Again? I'm going to miss the big game.
Troubled by your TV provider? Endeavor is here with eTV. With Endeavor's television service, there's no need to worry about a thunderstorm or whether your satellite dish is pointed in the right direction. We also provide internet, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
I've always liked Indianapolis. I've been interested in the bigger city life. The community and everything fell into place.
With my degree, I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse. Indianapolis has several hospitals and different options to choose from as to where I should go.
I chose Indianapolis because I love the Pacers, I love the Colts, and this is a basketball city. Just wanted to stay in the city, play in front of my friends and family, and try to give Marion my best.
Keep up to date with your favorite high school, college, and semi-professional teams on the ISC Sports app. Download it today from the App Store, Google Play, or on Roku. The ISC Sports Network. Local lives here.
Bellarmine is my home away from home. I feel like I have a family there.
That connectedness kind of pushes everyone as a collective group to be something more.
Everybody looks excited to go to class, and like professors even stop in the quad to talk to you, and that's something that you don't find everywhere.
I know that Bellarmine really cares about whether or not their students can afford the university, and they go out of their way to make sure they can afford the university.
I don't think I would be who I am today without Bellarmine University.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click weendeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
This isn't just any Hubler. I'm Greg Hubler, and I'm always here to help. You ask, why does that matter? Well, I'm here to ensure you get the best experience and the best possible price. And don't forget, every new Chevy comes backed by the Greg Hubler Promise. That's 3 years of scheduled maintenance included with every new vehicle purchase. This isn't just any Hubler.
It's Greg Hubler Chevy.
Let me show you why we're different than any other dealer.
Cruise on over to Canby.
Here on the ISC Sports Network, and we start off with the E-Shield Security, Endeavor E-Shield Security post-game show. E-Shield Security provides security protection for your home or business, powered by quality Honeywell products. Endeavor E-Shield helps protect what you cherish most. Call 800-922-6677 for more information. Lance, your final thoughts on this one.
I'll tell you what, I thought it was well played, especially for the conditions. I thought it was something that I was excited about to see Ayers play and Baker both lived up to all the hype of what I thought they would do. Love watching Clay Whitney run the football. Thought Monrovia had a great plan in the first half, but credit to Odd Hurley and the Crusaders in the second half.
Scecina had enough a degree of difficulty dealing with what Monrovia was throwing at them, but at times in the second half they added some as well in terms of penalties. That did not deter them because they scored their 3 of their 4 touchdowns in the second half on plays like 4th and 30, 4th and 16, and 2nd and 20. The first of those is our play of the game, presented by the NCAA Hall of Champions. Enjoy football Saturdays at the NCAA Hall of Champions. Games onto the popcorn is only 50 cents. Wear your favorite collegiate gear the first Saturday of the month through January and receive discounted admission. Plan your visit at NCAAHallofChampions.org. In the rain and on 4th and 30 from the 35-yard line, David Baker with the touchdown grab, one of 2 he'd have in the third quarter.
Just like you draw it up. One is 4th and 30, downpour, sideways rain. Again, what I'm excited about, though, is watching the senior Ayers give his receiver and the junior Baker making a great play exactly when Scecina needed it.
Baker would finish with 5 catches for 81 yards. He now has 7 touchdowns in 9 games this season. Our player of the game, though, is the young man that threw him the football, and that would be Mac Ayers of Scecina. Our player of the game presented by Endeavor Communications, 800-922-6677, or visit weendeavor.com for all your telecommunication needs. Ayers was 14 of 26, 222 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And frankly, Lance, he got better as the game went along.
Well, I tell you what, with the conditions, you would think it's cold, it's rained really for the first time to have that combination all year. You say you can't throw the football. You shouldn't be able to. To your point, Greg, he got better. And again, and not just to one receiver. That's what I was impressed with. That was multiple receivers getting the ball and scoring.
And Scecina cannot wait to get out of town with their championship. On the bus, back to the east side they go, and on to the postseason. They'll be playing host to Centerville next week. Monrovia goes on the road to Brown County. Do not be surprised if both of these teams play deep into the postseason. Of course, Scecina, like we said, likely going to be rated number 2 in 2A next week. Again, they're thought to be playing deep into the postseason. For Monrovia, given the style they play, they're tough to prepare for. Again, they've got a chance to win a sectional this year in 3A for the first time in school history. For Lance Scheib and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you for joining us all regular season long. But folks, the fun is just beginning. We will be here all the way through the semi-state round with multiple games each and every week. And every postseason game is free. Whether it's live on the stream, whether it's on demand on the app or the website, and of course multiple replays available of every game on our channel through the ISC Sports Network. We're just getting started. 9 weeks down, 5 to go. Tonight, Scecina had the better of it. A come-from-behind victory in the second half as they win 35-21 and take home the Indiana Crossroads Conference Championship in undefeated fashion. Thank you so much for joining us for high school football right here on the ISC Sports Network.